Welcome back to Brick Dynasty Live, the only hump day show that supplies its own camels. Today, we have a whatnot seller, a representative of the Boys Ambassador Network, and a friend to us all, Mr. Sigs Brix. Nick, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good. Appreciate it. Thanks for the magnanimous introduction. I like
How about
that.
Yeah,
So hello from Delaware. Usually I'm in Texas. I'm here for work, but I'm down for fun.
yeah, and you're a traveling roadshow now.
Yes, I brought a complete spare suitcase with just my whatnot gear so that I could have some shows. So
Was this
don't
your
always do
first
that.
time? Was this the first time traveling for the show?
No, I've done it a couple times. I did a one of the Star Wars card shows when I was in Massachusetts um, on a work trip, and then I've done just a couple like small fig shows. I brought a lot with me this time because technically tomorrow was supposed to be my 50 over 50. I hit over 1,000 followers, and I'm doing a big show for that. The calendar had it for tomorrow, and I brought everything to do it. I did a show last week, which was relatively successful, but it showed me that
Uh-oh.
I'm not going to be able to turn me sideways. Why did it do that? Just randomly. I didn't even touch the phone. All right. Hopefully it doesn't do that again. So I had to call an audible. So I have a show. Still have a show tomorrow. I'm doing a build up. I'm doing a 10 over 10 tomorrow, a 25 over 25 next Thursday. And then the Thursday after that is when I'll be home. And that's when I'm going to do the full on 50 over 50. So
Awesome.
the show tomorrow is just a few figs, nothing major, with like 5 or 6 giveaways just to build hype. And then the week after that, it'll be just a little bit bigger, more giveaways to build hype, and then the big show will be on I believe it's the 6th.
Okay.
So
And those titles are what they sound like. So 50 over 50 is 50 figs over $50.
correct.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a hefty lineup. It's pretty good.
I've been building it since I started. So,
Yeah.
and off and on, you still sell some of those figs. So, I mean, I've probably sold more than 50 over 50 since I started, but to try and hoard those to prep for that takes a little bit of extra work. And I'm new, so I didn't exactly super plan ahead like a lot of people did. So about, I don't know, a month ago, I went, hey, that's probably a good idea. When I hit 1,000 followers, I should do that.
It's a big
So
deal.
yeah. Yep. It surprised me. It snuck up on me. I started about 4 months ago. What the heck? I don't know why it's doing that, man. Not even moving the phone. If it does it again, we'll switch cameras. I'll switch it to the back of the phone. But I started about 4 months ago, selling, and then you build a few people every show, and I was doing about 50 a show, so I had it kind of prepped out to when I thought I was going to hit it, and then 2 shows ago, I ended up picking up 150 people in one show, and it took me over the
Awesome.
top. So it surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised. But
Okay. So
yeah,
that explains the acceleration there. The moving
it's
the
a
show up.
double-edged sword. It's nice, but you sell more that way, and then you have to buy more. I don't know what it's doing. Making me crazy, man. I don't know why it's doing that.
That's so funny. I mean, if this works, just leave it like that. That's fine.
Yeah, because this is the upright. It won't swap from here.
Yeah.
I can change the flip to the back of the phone maybe, and it wouldn't do it. But I don't know why it's doing that. It didn't do it earlier. We've been talking for 20 minutes and it didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Technology. It's a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
Too many grays for that nonsense. So
Tell
4
me about
months in and over 1,000.
Mhm.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah. And I'm not. I mean, I'm probably more serious than some people, just because that's kind of just how I work. Once you start doing it, you want to do more. And I was a buyer for a long time. You and I met at Brick World. I wasn't
Yep.
selling at that time. I was buying. I knew a lot of the whatnot guys, Fritz and Jandern, and some of the bigger names, Nick, and Fritz really kind of pushed me to sell. Um, so I looked into it and started started kind of prepping it a little bit. And I actually went out and I got the LLC. I got the tax exemption. I did all of it before I started the selling. So there's a lot of people that use whatnot that don't do that, and you don't have to. That's one of the beauties of
Yep.
whatnot is everything you know about eBay. Sell whatever you want, buy whatever you want, but it's in a more compact, more community experience. So the auctions are live. You're talking to me like I'm right now, and I'll have a list of items that are for sale. We'll go through and sell them. So uh, you can, as a seller, you can set your prices however you want. I personally, I'm a dollar start guy, um, which again, double edged sword. Um, Dollar starts bring people in, but if you've got a night when people aren't bidding, then it'll bite you. But one of the things that I was told early on, don't come to whatnot looking to make a ton of money. It's it's more about the experience in the community. And I would 1,000% agree with that statement. The money will come, but if you come at it with that attitude, you're gonna you're not gonna enjoy the experience, which is a shame because that's how you should start. You got to meet the people, meet your customer base, interact with all the other sellers. The Lego community in particular is incredibly gracious. With whatnot, you can buy or sell anything. I've looked at some of the other auctions and stuff, just a few things here and there, but I stay in my corner. Um, and it's it's a great community. It's really really wild. So if you've never if you've never been to whatnot, just check it out. You don't have to buy anything. You can just go watch. Some of these shows are entertaining. Some of these auctions are wild. So it's a good time.
There's some interesting characters out there
There
that I've
are
seen. Yeah.
there are definitely some wild people out there. I mean, it's you've got you got your super quiet people that'll just like put the camera on, point it at whatever they're selling, and every so often say, "Hey, if you're interested in something on the screen, just put a note in and make me an offer." And they'll just let the camera just look at their stuff. They're not really interacting. That's their stream. And then you've got people that are full on, um, you know, uh, Tiger King. uh, I mean, there's guys I've watched streams where, people shave their head on the stream for $20. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
there was a guy the other day that I think every like it was one of his anniversary streams. And I think he had it set up to where every $20 in tips, because you can just tip like $1. You don't have to, but he had it set up to where every time he got $20 worth of tips, um, he'd get spanked with a paddle. His wife was in the background and she'd spank him. And
Amazing.
got it builds the excitement, and that's what a lot of the guys do. Um, so, but yeah, you can see some wild stuff. Uh, I was in a stream the other night. Whoppy did one of his Whoppy Bricks is out of Wisconsin. He's one of the bigger sellers. He's got a brick and mortar store in Wisconsin, and he was doing a UCS Death Star giveaway. And somebody in the chat said something about if we tip enough, if we tip the price of another Death Star, would he give it away? And he was like, okay. So people tipped enough people. He had over 1,000 people in that stream. And $1 a tip from everybody in the stream pays for a UCS Death Star.
Yeah.
He gave 3 away that night off of tips.
Oh my God.
It actually maxed out his tip ability for the stream. So Whatnot will limit how much each person can tip for each stream. It's just, I don't know, something they put in there that they probably never even thought would be an issue. But he had enough people in there tipping enough to where nobody could tip anymore. It was maxed out. And he ended up giving away 3 Death Stars that night. It was an
That's
insane
crazy.
stream. But that's the kind of stuff that you can see. And the giveaways don't cost you anything. They do have buyer giveaways. There's 2 types of giveaways. There's a buyer giveaway, which you typically have to buy something, or just in the state of or in the United States, they can't do that. You can't be forced to buy something, so you can actually fill out a form, and that puts you in the deal. But there's buyers giveaways, which you typically have to buy something for, and then there's just open to anybody giveaways. Most people do the open for anybody giveaways. I'll occasionally do 2, one buyer, one for anybody. One of my last streams, I gave away the 2 of the 327 battle packs at the end of the show. One was for the buyers, and one was for just anybody that was in the stream. So
Oh, was it? I think it might have been Fritz I was watching. What do you call them? Givey goblins or something?
yes, so Givey Goblins are people that just go stream to stream and just click on the giveaway buttons. Which the benefit of a Givey Goblin is it does bring people to your stream. The more people that you get in, Whatnot has an algorithm, and it will read activity on an auction, and then people that just happen to log into the app on that front homepage, auctions that have a lot of people in it, that have a lot of action in it, they'll pop up. So it helps
Okay.
draw people to your site. Plus, most of the auction or most of the giveaways, in order to enter it, you do have to follow the whatever person that's doing it. So like I said, I'm over 1,000 followers. A lot of those came from giveaways. Most people, you do a giveaway, and depending on what it is, they'll get the item, and then I cover shipping. So a lot of throughout the stream, I do a bunch of smaller giveaways for like a minifigure or one of the Star Wars cards or just something random. But I include the shipping so that they can buy a figure and not have to pay shipping. So that also
Okay.
it bundles it, and it makes it another kind of a win for the customer. They can buy a dollar figure and not have to pay the $4.50 shipping. Because usually the first
deal.
shipping amount is around $3 or $4, and then that's good for several figures. Whatnot will bundle that. So
Cool.
yeah. But it's a really fun experience. You meet a lot of people, and then you start to see those same people in your shows, or they'll see you in their shows. And it builds the community, and we try to help each other out. We'll every time you end your auction, whenever you're done, when you end it, you can raid into somebody else that's running. So you can take all the people that are in your auction and bring them to another auction. They call that raiding. So instead of just ending your auction and everybody goes away, you can take them to somebody else.
Okay. Now, do you control that, or do you just suggest to everybody, hey guys, go over there? How does that
No,
work?
I control it. So when I end my auction, I have the opportunity to I can select end auction and just end it, or I can raid. And when you hit, there's just a couple buttons: end auction, raid. You click raid, and it'll pop up who has a show running right now. It'll usually populate people that you follow up top, and then right below that it'll have just whoever's running. And you'll just click on that, and it immediately takes everybody in your stream directly to their stream. They pop up in the feed, and it says rating. It says my show rating with however many people I brought with me.
Awesome.
So
Okay, so
um,
that's a good way to advertise for yourself in a bigger stream too, right?
correct.
Okay.
So what a lot of people do, um, if somebody raids, they'll typically, everybody's doing giveaways throughout the night anyway. So if somebody raids, a lot of times they'll do whatever their next giveaway is. They'll say, thanks to whoever raided, here's a giveaway in honor of them,
Okay.
which is a good way to advertise. Now, another thing that not everybody does, but most of the bigger ones do, and I do, in my auction, I have the things that. So on the main screen when you're watching an auction, it'll show you the video of everything coming up, everything I put up and start as a video. But kind of in the bottom right hand corner, there's a little logo. That's our what they call a buy it now. It's the bin. And you can put in all of the items that you're going to sell in the auction. It'll show a list of whatever giveaways you've got set, everything you've put into the auction that you're going to go through that day, and also just like stock. So like I keep the spider droids, the little AT-RTs from the 327th packs because I sell the figures, and then I'll sell the spider droid for $5, and then the AT-RT for $5. They're in that buy it now to where a customer, if they're scrolling through and they go, "Hey, I need one of these because I got a bunch of figures," they can just buy that for $5. I don't have to run that auction; they can buy it.
Okay.
But also in that buy it now, me and a lot of sellers will put in giveaways where you can sponsor a giveaway for the show. So like I
Okay.
have a $15 giveaway, a $30 giveaway. They can do a microfighter, a battle pack, a bigger set. But me as a seller, I can go into Whoppy's stream or Fritz's stream and buy one of those uh, and sponsor that giveaway in his show. So
Okay.
at that point, he'll give away whatever that item is on behalf of me. And that's
Okay.
how you really can gain some good followers. If you routinely, donate to other streams, get your name out there, get your recognition out there, builds goodwill, all the things. And it's reciprocal.
Okay.
So a lot of those guys that you do that with, they'll turn around and do it in your show. So
Awesome.
that's where I kind of go back to community. Um, the Lego community has been really, really amazing. And I mean, kind of going back to Brick World. I don't know if you were in there. Brick World did their charity auction.
Yep.
They didn't really have a lot set up for that charity auction specifically. But they had, Jander and Fritz and all of those guys basically run that charity auction through Whatnot that day. So those guys, every one of those Lego Whatnot sellers got together on that podium and they were signing T-shirts. They were signing, the different little giveaway Lego stuff, anything that they could sell to their groups. They were doing their own. They were putting pop-up shows in for the charity, and every bit of money that they sold in that went to the Brick World charity.
Amazing.
But it that community, that hype gets built up. People were paying $100 for a signed T-shirt, but it went to
Wow.
charity because these guys, they have a fan base. They have a group of people that follow them that they've bought from them for a long time, and it's family. It's a great community, and you show them that it's a good cause and what you're doing, and you're showing them all the stuff, and it builds the hype, and everybody wants to join in, and it builds and builds and builds, and it turns into something great. So
Yeah.
that's why you should go to Whatnot.
Yeah.
Um,
So
go for
when I
that,
was when I
and
was
then
talking to the rep the other day, he was pushing brand building, and
yes,
this seems like a perfect example of that.
correct. The brand building is really really nice. Um, yeah, again, get your name out there. You meet these people, and a lot of these guys they'll travel to the different conventions and stuff like that. And then most of them have an Instagram or a YouTube or something like that, and you can, join into that community as well. And it just helps grow everybody, uh, and help pay for your Lego a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ultimately why I started selling. I don't necessarily need to make a bunch of money, but if I can offset my family's Lego habit or subsidize my family's Lego habit, that's where we're at. So,
Yeah.
because I collect Lego, my daughter collects Lego, my wife collects Lego.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's
it's nice when you don't have to hide your addiction from the family, right?
oh yeah, no, none of that. No.
It's good.
And it's fun. My daughter, she watches a lot of the YouTube stuff and she idolizes some of the different people. She's actually started to build her own city. She's got a city in her playroom that she started to build.
Cool.
And it's fun to uh, encourage that. And then, I've got some videos and pictures and stuff where I'll walk by the playroom and she's just in there. She's got her table set up and it's open in the center and she's setting everything up and moving her people. You just sit there and
That's
you'll watch
great.
that for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
So,
good.
yeah. Um, so
Yeah.
it's
Where is she? She's somewhere 9 or 10, somewhere in there.
yeah, she's 9. Yep.
Okay.
She is 9.
Okay.
9 years old, 3rd grade. Way too smart.
Yeah. It gets scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
So she's super sweet, but man, she's too smart. So
Yeah. You can't get away with anything anymore, right?
not really.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have to hide much. I don't have to hide the Legos that I bring home. It's not like, hey, Dad, I see that Lego set you got. And Mom's like, what? No, we don't have any of that. So,
Yeah. Until she starts stealing stuff from you. Like, oh, well, I need a couple of those parts.
well, now that has happened. I've had a couple of orders where I've got some figs in, and she's seen a few of them and been like, that's mine.
Yeah.
And it disappears off my my
Yeah.
sale rack there. But that happened with wife once or twice too. So,
Yeah.
but
That's funny.
cost of doing
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. So are you doing all Star Wars? Are you doing mixed lots now?
So probably 98% Star Wars. I
Okay.
do a few things on the side, just depending on what it is. Um, but almost all Star Wars. Just because that's mostly what I have. Now I will branch out as I get bigger, but I kind of want to stay with what I know. There are so many figures and there's so many variations of figures that you really, in order to be successful, you need to know what you've got, and you need to know what you sell it for. I'm in the process of becoming a better seller always. As I get my items in, I'm documenting more what I got, where I got, what I paid for it, and then on the backside, what it ended up selling for. I'm trying to become more organized in those ways. Because it is a business. You do want to, know what you're doing. Plus, it helps with trends. I mean, you'll find that certain figures that necessarily aren't worth a lot of money sell really, really well, and then you can prioritize those. Um, you become a better seller when you're doing your auction and you pull whatever figure up. You can talk about that figure better. You know more about it. You start to learn. Did it come in a couple different sets? What specific set did it come in? Some guys are real big on the pricing. Like this is a $25 fig. This is a $50 fig. I'm less that. I'm more about the not specific the uh, the different characteristics of the figure. Like this particular head is the only one they ever made. It's a specific print. This was on a set that only came out once. That kind of thing. I'm
Yeah.
more about. And then I also am a big fan of uh, the quality and the print and the design. So there's certain figures. So like you take a Lando. He's above and beyond a normal figure because he's got the great printing, the extra cape. I mean, just the hair detail, the molding, that kind of stuff. For me, I like that aspect. And if you educate your customer, um, I've always found that that's a good way to build rapport and have them come back. You can educate them, and they learn something, and make it fun, and you know, it just helps build your particular community. So
Those double-sided capes are so cool.
yeah, yep.
Really good.
I am a fan of that one. There's a couple of figs that are pretty wild. Um, so I've got a few here that I mean, this one here is the one that the hype is on for now. Everybody wants this
Awesome.
guy. And I mean, you want to talk about a crazy cape. Um, this thing, this is about as wild a cape design as I think Lego's done. I hate to really touch it that much, but I mean, look at the piping on that thing.
That thing
They
is
did the,
awesome.
it's absolutely insane. And this set kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
People kind of knew it was coming, but it wasn't super pushed. I mean, it came out the same time as the Death Star, and this thing is sold out till after Christmas. But the Death Star's, technically, I think it's sold out, but I think it's back in stock now. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get that AT-AT, you have to go to a Lego store to get it because online they're not available. Um, so I like that aspect. Cool figs, and some of the figs that are worth a lot of money, you wouldn't even really know about it. So that's something that I've learned. That's cool. Uh,
Yeah. Do you get all that data from Bricklink, or do you go through Brickset for that? Or do you
so I
both?
use a couple different apps. I've got Brick Scan was the first one I got that would basically you just hold the figure in your hand and take a picture of it, and it'll tell you what it is. That one will give you some pricing. It's not super accurate. The big key with that one is it'll give you the SW number, which is the
Yep.
specific figure number. And then recently, one of the sellers on Whatnot, Jay Sparrow, he produced an app that's called WhatFig,
Yep.
and it does that same thing and quite a few other items, but that one is hooked directly into Bricklink. So if you take the picture with that app, it'll pull up in the current Bricklink prices. Um, I typically go with the Bricklink prices. There's three or four different, I guess, apps or companies that value the figs, but Bricklink sets the standard, and they'll have a new versus a used price, and that's I typically go, my figs. I try to average in that area,
Yep.
just depending on the condition. Um, but yeah, that's how you learn the pricing, and then you'll see that certain figures, they'll go crazy expensive. They get real popular. Uh, I think currently the Phase 2 Cody is about to retire.
Yep.
And I want to say it has jumped up in price in the last month or two. I think it's doubled in price. He was around 15-ish. Now I think he's 30-ish. All of the
Wait,
25th anniversary figures, you know,
that
just
that Cody's in the ATTE. Is that which one it
correct.
is?
Yes.
That's retiring this year.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
know why I don't remember that.
Yeah, that
Uh,
one's going away. And then the clones for that set, that's the only place to get those clones too. Um, so those have kind of jumped up a little bit in price. Um, so You pay attention to what's happening. You'll see the trends and you try to stay ahead of them. Uh, so supply and demand. I mean, that's part of business. Uh, so you try to do that as well. And then of course there's always the old faithfuls that are always going to be worth a ton of money. Um, Geonosis Padme, she's still probably a top 10 fig for most collectors. Um, so, but you learn, and it makes me a better collector. So,
Yep.
But my family has now become a family of Lego shoppers. Whenever they're out and about, I would imagine it's similar to you. I mean, you've got your Bricklink store, you've got your store.
Yep.
When you guys are out and about, families out, whatever, they see a set on sale. It's like, hey, have you seen this? This is whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
I
actually
like
need
the
to.
idea of selling out from under ourselves.
Yes,
We'll keep the
yeah.
set and sell the minifigures.
So that is a thing that I've actually, not to telegraph my move that much, but I'm also going to try to start working into the YouTube space. And one of my ideas is the I did it with the Death Star when it came out. Um, uh, Everybody was buying the Death Star, breaking the figs out, selling it all up, that kind of thing. Um, I had the bright idea to build it. I did a live stream build, beginning to end, on Whatnot, and in the end, I sold it. So I built it all day long on the live stream, and then I sold the figures and the set and everything. I was kind of telling you before we started in the green room.
Yep.
I originally had planned on doing that on YouTube as well, but I'm so new to YouTube that I didn't realize you had to have 40 followers to do a live stream. So I live streamed it on Whatnot only, and that was actually a pretty fun experience. My daughter helped out in the morning before she went to school, and in the afternoon she came back and helped. My wife helped in the afternoon, but as I'm building it, you've got the camera running and the chat going, and you're talking to the different people and you're showing off the stuff. And I had people that came in and out of that live stream all day long. And then at the end of the night, they showed up and they bought some of the stuff. I want to maybe start doing that moving forward with more of my stuff. So
Awesome.
I think that's a kind of a unique maybe take where you combine the sale and the build. I get a little bit of both. Plus, I enjoy building the Legos. I mean, that's
Yeah.
ultimately what it's about. I like the Legos. My family likes to build Legos, so
Yeah.
that's what it's all
That's
about.
it's what started this whole fiasco, right?
Yeah. Yes. What started this whole fiasco was the 2000, I think it was 5, UCS Millennium Falcon. I got that one when it came out from the Lego store. I was the first one to buy one. And I had that on display for years and years and years. And then I have slowly just gotten more and more into the community. Uh, and, you know, then I met I started watching the Whatnot stuff. I've always watched M&R Ryan. I started watching his stuff, and then he started branching out into some of the other YouTube channels. You start watching those guys. That's how you find out about ACOB and the this or that guys, and Life Bricks, and you expand all that, and you start learning, and then you start buying more and getting more into the community, and that's how I ended up at Brick World last year.
Yeah. Are you coming again this year?
I am already booked.
Awesome.
Yep,
I love it.
yep.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So, and now with the new ACOB car, uh,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you were in the stream the other day, but I was talking about I had the van last year. I'm gonna do that again this year, but I'm gonna get with uh, uh, the guys on the decals. I'm gonna get some ACOB magnets for that van.
Awesome. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be fun. It'll be a good time. Um, so yeah, I mean, it goes back to community. You meet so many great people, um, who, they're in it to have fun. They're in it to help each other. Uh, and if we can make a little money to pay for it all, that's even better.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So are you going to do a stream from Brick World this year?
I would imagine. I'll have to get with the guys and see, but I would imagine we'll do another massive whatnot group stream. We'll see if I'm, up there in the echelons of fan base to really impact some of those things. But either way, I'll do my own thing. But it's it would be nice to grow into that group to be more, um, uh, to contribute more to it. So I like my chances.
Well, every festival has an opening act, right?
Yeah, there you go.
You
Yeah.
know, so there
So,
you go. Yeah,
but yeah, everybody's been so great, from that group and from that world, that I don't see how it's not going to just keep getting bigger and bigger. Oh, that's what I needed to do.
official Garth wagon.
Yep, that's
Amazing.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the big brother to the Mirthmobile.
Forgot I've actually got that. Where is the chat? There we go. Sorry, I can actually see the chat.
Hey, there you go. All right.
That looks like I missed my wife said hello earlier. Hello, dear. How are you? Yes.
Oh, that's who that was. All right.
Yes. Yep. I haven't updated her name. We're gonna update her name to Mrs. Sigs Brix, because that's the way everything needs to go. I've already told her that, and she's like, okay, I guess maybe one
Yeah.
day. She's not ready to step into the spotlight yet. I've tried telling her I'll sell more. You start
There
helping
you
out,
go.
I'll sell more.
Yep.
So
And I can't even begin to tell you it's what an impact that has. I mean,
yeah,
there's no way this business could function the way it does without Tanya.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. So you tell her, start helping you out, and next thing you know, she can be I don't know, I hate to use the term retired, but
She can have
being
all the
full-time
Lego
Lego.
sets she wants.
Yeah, she can be the full-time Lego lady.
That's
There you
right.
go.
That's right. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put that on a t-shirt. Full-time Lego lady.
There you go. Marketing. We can sell those at Brickworld next year.
Yep. Oh
I
man.
like it.
So when I'm thinking about your what you talked about, having all of the stuff you're going to sell kind of listed in there, kind of in
Mhm.
advance. If you're doing a big show, that's a lot of work to get all your stuff entered in ahead of time, isn't it?
It is. And I will tell you, I learned the hard way.
It's the only way.
You're right. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way. You can do everything through the app. It's very intuitive. The app is the best way on your phone to participate in the auctions and the sales and all of that stuff. That is the best way to do that. Um, when it comes to actually doing the inventory, the computer it's a better interface. You can do everything. Uh, I learned that one of the best ways to do it is you go into you have a when you open the app at the very bottom there's a sellers tab and you click on that, and then at the very bottom is an inventory tab. You can put every one of your items that you've gotten in that inventory tab. The fastest way to do that is to type it all out on the computer, create the um, specific uh, uh, item lists. And then from there, you use your phone to snap a picture of it and upload it that way.
Okay.
Because to upload the pictures into the computer and then the computer into the auction item, it's circular takes too much time. It's faster the other way.
Okay.
One of the things I really enjoy about Whatnot is once you put an item in your inventory, even if you sell that item, you can go back and change the quantity of it to whatever you get if you get more in stock. So you
Awesome.
technically only have to put each item in there one time.
Okay.
And then you can just select it. Every time you start a new show or you plan a new show, you can go in and add the items for that specific show. You can go into your inventory. Now, a lot of times you can't do that specifically from the app because, again, once you sell it in the app, you have to go into the main computer and change the inventory
Okay.
amount from 0 to 1 or whatever. And from there, you can select it and drag it right into the auction.
Okay.
So, yes, it is very time consuming to do it, but you only have to do it once. That being said, I'm like 7% done with that. I haven't done that many of those. I need to.
Okay.
That's as a seller, that's kind of, I would say, tier 3. Once you start to actually do more and sell more, you can start to do that. If you're just starting out, get some figures. You don't have to take pictures of each figure. You can just put the auction in as there's two types of auctions. There's a quality auction, which are the ones that you can resave and redo. They require a picture. And then there's just a quick auction or a quick item, which doesn't need a picture. It's in there and you can click on it and then show your item on the screen. A lot of people do that when they start because it's a lot. It's a lot to do. If you're not doing it full time, you're trying to, do this kind of thing in between your regular job and, just whenever you have free time, which is, kind of where I'm at. So, but yeah, you can do that. You can add all those items in. And I mean, you can get as detailed as you want. Ideally you start off, you put the figure in, whatever the name of the figure is in a picture, and you're good to go. And then you can add more information. You can start adding the year. You can start adding the actual SW number. You can add, if you've got one that's got a crack in it, you can add that. Just more
Okay.
detailed as you go, and just keep building that inventory base, and get bigger and bigger. So
Now, say you had access to a spreadsheet with every Star Wars minifigure in there. If you could you just upload that entire thing to Whatnot with a quantity of 0 and then just toggle on and off quantities as needed?
not that I'm aware of, but again, I'm new. I I'm I don't think you can do that. I think every item it's a single listing, and you have to make them one at a time, to my knowledge. Now that would be something that might be worth. You said you were having a conversation with the Whatnot folks. That may be something on a seller side or more of a storefront side. They have that ability.
Right.
I don't know. I don't do that. So, um, it would be that'd be great if you could. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that'd
mean,
be,
imagine if they were all already there and you could
yeah,
just change your quantity as needed.
correct. Yeah, just type a quick search in for the SW number, select, yeah, I've got that one, and you just put it right in. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be a great add-on. Um, I
Hmm.
don't know how they could do that because, well, I guess if Whatnot made it to where you could add it, it would just have to be in whatever language their app would read. So that would be kind
Gotcha.
of a backside. I would ask that question next time you talk to that Whatnot rep.
Yeah,
Um,
I should do that because we have the information.
mhm.
So if we could push it all through there, that would make everybody's life so much easier.
It would, and I mean, especially if it had just like a stock photo of the item too. I mean, geez,
Yep.
that's. I mean, you're talking a whole lot faster, a whole lot nicer.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
right.
the one benefit of the way Whatnot does it is you actually kind of have to have the item in order to put it in your listing. That way you're not
Yep.
selling stuff that you don't own yet. So
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
something I
That's
think a
fair.
couple people have gotten in trouble for. Um, selling an item that they don't necessarily have, but they're
Yeah.
going to go buy it
That's
at Walmart the next day. I mean,
yeah.
that's
That's basically
they
drop shipping at that point. Yeah.
yeah, they kind of frown upon that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So Derek's got a great question here. Can we go live from different locations, like co-host style?
yeah. So
Really?
on your phone, you're you're live wherever you're at.
Yeah.
I did a show about a month ago from Disney World in front of the Millennium Falcon. I
No.
set up on a trash can in front of the Millennium Falcon with 30 figures and sold them in front of the Millennium Falcon. Um, uh, it was towards the end of the night. You can actually go back and watch the stream, I think. Uh, I was doing my thing. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was talking to my people. I was wrapping up the show, getting ready to run my final giveaways. And freaking Ray, the character that they've got running around uh, Disney World, dressed up as Ray, in character as Ray, pops up in like so. I'm right here. We're doing our thing. She pops up directly in front of my face in the stream where my figures are. It's like, hey, what are you doing? And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
what the? It was wild. And she stayed in character. She's like, so what are you doing? And I'm explaining. She's got her little handler. So I'm talking to both of them, and the handler's explaining a little bit too. And they're like, oh, so you're selling these for credits? You know, she stayed Republic credits and, you know,
Oh,
all of this. Um, but yeah, anywhere you're at, you can go live.
yeah. Can you have co-hosts? How does that work?
Yes. So I actually did that when I was doing the Death Star stream. Jandern popped in there in the afternoon and did a co-host to where it did a split screen. He was up at the top and I was kind of down at the bottom, and he hung
Okay.
out for a little while, and then he was doing just like a quick pop-up giveaway. So he popped in, we chatted for a little bit. He brought some of his people in because when he goes live, he can send out another uh, message and his people will get that because whenever if you follow a seller when they go live, you'll typically get a notification. So he popped up, his people came in, we were chatting while I'm building it, and then he went and ran his little deal and went off. But yeah, you can
Okay.
you can co-host.
All right.
Um, Normally the way it works, uh, only the person who starts the show can run the auctions. So like Jandern couldn't
Okay.
run an auction from where he was at. Now he did sponsor some giveaways. So he was like, hey, you know, run some giveaways and, you know, shot me some money for the giveaways. And I ran those, you know, on our behalf. And his people could log into that and get them. And
Cool.
then, you know, but yes, you can co-host. So.
Okay.
And
Now,
then in the auction, you've got your chat, so you'll see the chat all the time. Hold on, let me get
the
back to
chat
my.
moves fast sometimes too.
It does. Now you can set it to where it's. Um, Hold on. Sorry. All right. Sorry, you guys. It got stuck on the chat over here. But when you're running the auction, me as the seller or the host, I can select different people to be a moderator. Um,
Okay.
uh, and those folks, they can access the chat, send messages on behalf. You know, that a lot of times they'll pay attention to the chat while you're doing the selling. If people are calling out specific figs they want, if they're asking questions, um, that's another thing that you can do in the community to help out another seller.
Okay.
So I routinely have a list of people that whenever I put a show in to whenever it starts, I have a list of people that are automatically in my system as mods, so that if they were to happen to log in while my show's running, they're automatically a mod. They can immediately, you know, assist. But that's something that's nice to leverage with Whatnot. Um, they can they can communicate people that are asking for things, have questions. If somebody wins a giveaway, they'll announce it. If somebody raids in, they'll announce it. A lot of times, if somebody buys something in my buy it now, it will pop up on the screen usually, but a lot of times it's happening so fast I may not catch it. So like specifically when people are buying in some of these streams where it gets wild and crazy, and people are sponsoring giveaways and all this stuff on behalf, they're coming through fast. So these guys will keep a list of who sponsored what, and they'll run them in order for you. That's super helpful when you get bigger.
Do you
But
have the ability to add people to your team? So like they can function like assistants in the back end of your account?
only in the stream, only to the point of the mod. They can
Okay.
access the chat, and they can help moderate that. Now they can boot people. So like if somebody's being that's about the extent of their ability. They can't start an auction. They can't start a giveaway. They don't have the ability to do that.
Okay.
Whatnot hasn't added that feature yet. I think it's something that they were talking about. I think I heard a couple people in some of the other streams talk about they're looking to expand that role a little bit. So,
All
but
right.
yeah.
So
But anybody that's in my chat, I can add as a mod. I don't have to do it ahead of time. So,
okay.
I can add them as a mod and then they can help in the chat, but that's kind of the limit of their power, I guess you could say. So,
That's tough. We had talked about the idea of the Brick Dynasty account on Whatnot. If we chose to do that, it would be nice to have the Brick Dynasty account be open to the whole Brick Dynasty team. So if I wasn't on, one of the other guys could be on
now
still as Brick
that
Dynasty.
happens.
Yeah.
They would
So
just
is that just
use,
password sharing?
yes, whoever's going to run the stream, and they don't have to be where you're at.
Okay.
I could log in under your stuff. You've already got everything in your buy it now. You've got your items. I can run an auction and go through everything, and it would ship from either your location or my location, depending on at the end of the auction what stock each one has. The only time you would
Okay.
get into a problem would be if somebody bought multiple or an item that you had at your location that wasn't at my location.
Okay.
That would be the only time you could have an issue, and even then you can break the order up. Whatnot doesn't like you to do that. I think they give you like 5 a month that you can do that with, but that would be something that I would imagine it would all ship out of your main hub, would be my guess. But anybody that has your login can open up and run an auction. So I mean, if you know that, I think we talked and you were talking about they were wanting you to run maybe 3 auctions a week or something.
Yeah.
If you knew ahead of time that you were good for one of them, but you needed people to cover the other two, what I would do, I would pre-plan my auction for the week. We're gonna run 50 figs each auction, 50 items each auction, and I would preload the auction with those figs, so that anybody who logged in, as soon as they log in and open that show, the buy it now already has the list of the bin already has the list of what auctions are going to run, what items are going to run. And then once it ends, the next day, whoever's available ships them out. That makes
Okay.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would take some communication. You'd want to make sure everybody's on the same page, but I think that would be pretty easy to do. Especially if you've got a location that's a really big storage hub. I think that would be really cool. That might be a way to actually um, that might be a way to actually set yourself aside too. You could almost do like man on the street shows. Say that you've got a buddy that's in Disney, Be like, hey, here's the backdrop of Disney World. Here's Star Wars Land. Here's all this stuff. That's the person interacting with everybody in the auction. That's the person talking. That's the person running the sale. You've got all of that ambiance around you, and then you run through your items. And then the next day, they ship from your hub. I think that that's something that would be pretty interesting to try. It's actually kind of an interesting idea. I don't think anybody's doing that. So
Okay. We'll have to think about that a little bit more.
yeah.
It because thinking if I'm supposed to do 3 shows a week
hmm
and eat up all that time, but our team is like 6 guys. I'm sure at least one person other than me can hop in for a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
That could increase the odds. And if the whole idea is brand building,
hmm
Brick Dynasty is not just me, right?
Right.
So to get everybody involved, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And then you could have somebody, like me, I've got my stuff with me. I could run whatever I've got and then ship what I've got out the next day. The only time you would have an issue, you wouldn't want to cross pollinate the shipping locations.
Okay.
That would just cause problems. I ran into that actually here. I told you I went to Annapolis and bought 2 of the gingerbread AT-ATs. I brought the figure with me. I brought 2 of the figures with me here, but I left the build at home. And I was like, if I sell it, my wife can ship it from the house. But what ended up happening is the guy that bought the figure bought the build too. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
well, shit. So the next day I ran to Lego and I bought a whole box. So instead of him getting a figure in one package and just the build in another package, I sent him a whole brand new unopened one. I was like, here you go.
he must have been thrilled.
I would imagine he's probably getting it in the next day or so. Yeah, I don't think it's arrived.
Cool.
This was my show last week. But I didn't. That was the first time I tried to do that, and I went, well, shit, that didn't work out very well. Now did it? So luckily,
Okay.
I didn't mix and match a bunch of stuff. I had the forethought to bring most everything I had with me, and I think that would be what you would want to do with whatever your team has. If whoever's going to run your show for the night, if it's not y'all, if they're going to sell stuff that's not going to ship from your location, make sure they've got whatever they're going to sell with. That way they can package it out and ship it the next day.
Okay.
That could be interesting. That could actually be kind of cool. I don't know if anybody's doing it in as a team environment or as a team. Yeah, your camera shut off once or twice.
Yeah. Well, I shut that off myself, trying
Okay.
to bring it back to life somehow. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I hate
For
to.
me looking at it, you're not doing anything funky except for the couple times it shut off.
Yeah.
But
Inside a StreamYard, I think it looks fine. I look at my other monitor, what is on YouTube, and it's a mess.
I gotcha.
I don't
Looks
know.
like Liam asked if Aussies can purchase from Whatnot. Yes, you can. If you sign into Whatnot, whenever you sign it in, it's going to ask you all your information, where you live, your address, zip code, all that kind of stuff. And then Whatnot will automatically calculate the shipping for you. So if you come into one of my streams, when I'm running an auction, when I start my auction, you'll see the item, you'll see the bid start, and then at the very bottom of that auction, it'll tell you X amount shipping. And that's what you would pay for shipping. Now, again, the first purchase is going to be the highest shipping amount, and then from there it bundles. I don't believe I've shipped anything to Australia. I've shipped to Puerto Rico. I've had a couple of items go to Puerto Rico, and I'll tell you that's the weirdest thing. I didn't realize it was Puerto Rico until I went to ship everything, and I print out my labels, and the label for Puerto Rico is a weird looking label. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Military
We have,
labels are a little weird too. You seeing
yeah.
those?
I don't know if I've had that many of those yet. You're welcome. You're welcome, Liam. So, but I know we do a lot. A lot of people buy from Great Britain. A lot of people buy from Canada. A lot of people buy from Mexico. Obviously, Puerto Rico. So some of the bigger sellers will do international. I'm not big enough to really do international um, yet. So in my stuff, well, I say international, like the giveaways. Uh,
Hmm.
if I do a giveaway, you have to be I want to say contiguous, either Mexico, Canada, United States, in order to enter. Whatnot won't even let you enter the giveaway because it can't ship it to you.
Okay.
Some of the bigger guys like Ryan, M&R, all of his stuff is international. Anybody can click on his giveaways and he pays for it. But he's a partner with Whatnot, and I think uh, they help a lot with that. So that might be something for you to have conversation wise
Yeah.
with the
Four
Whatnot
four
folks.
4% fees for partners.
Is that what it is? I think I pay
Yeah.
8 and then a 30. I think it's 30 cents per auction.
Yeah,
So
I'd
it's not
imagine the
bad.
30 cents is still there. But
Yeah, I would imagine. And that's something that you learn again. You learn the hard way. Uh, the dollar start thing. I'll do a dollar start because I've seen I've played it both ways. I've played it all the different ways. I've had some that I didn't do as a dollar start. You don't feel like you have if you're new to Whatnot. Don't feel like you have to do a dollar start. Never put yourself in a hole um, if you don't need to. If you've got a good product, if you've got good figs, and you need a certain amount of money for them, by all means, sell your items for whatever money you need. Uh, I think my very first show I did a dollar start. I didn't do horribly, but I definitely, you know, I didn't I didn't make a ton of money. I think I made $150 my very first show um, after everything. Uh, but I had a couple shows after that where specifically my higher end figs, I wouldn't start those as a dollar. If you've only got 10 people in your show, 5 to 10 people in your show, and you're new and you don't have a following, don't feel like you have to do a dollar start. Ask $20 for a fig that's $20. Now, don't be surprised if you don't sell it. Some people aren't going to buy it for
yeah.
retail. Most of the time, what I did, I would find the Bricklink price and I would take 25% off of it. And on the bigger ones, that's what I started with.
Right.
And again, some of those you'll sell, some of them you won't. But you're there. Everybody's business is different. Um, but don't lose money to lose money. Even the bigger guys, even some of these big guys, if they're having a stream one night and people just aren't buying, they'll change from dollar starts to you know $3 starts or $5 starts, or they'll end the stream early. I mean, if the people aren't there, the people aren't there. Don't put yourself out of business. But again, don't also be the person that yells at bidders for not bidding. Um,
Is that a
there
thing?
there are people that shame their bidders. This is a
Oh,
$20
Lord.
fig. You guys are putting me out of business. I can't.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
going to be able to stay working. There's people that do that. Um, you're going to run your people away. I mean, it's like anything else. It's why car salesmen have such a bad rap. Don't be pushy. There's a time to be pushy sometimes. Hold your ground. If you've got a really expensive figure and somebody's lowballing you, be like, don't take a low offer. Don't feel like you
Yeah.
have to sell it. Um, you know, end your stream and come back another day. Um, like I said, my stream last week, uh, it wasn't my best stream monetarily. I had quite a few people in there, um, but I did a lot of bundles. I was doing multiple clone figs in an auction, and a couple people got really good deals. I never I never shame my customers. If they're getting a good deal, man, you got to champion 'em. Look at you, you got a great deal. Good job. Because they appreciate that. They're not going to feel bad. I mean, I've had customers where people you'll have 50 people in a stream, and for some reason nobody's paying attention for that particular fig, and it ends up selling for cheap. That happens all the time. Um, uh, if you've got a good fan base, a lot of times, or a good customer base, a lot of times, a customer will make up the difference on the next one. Or I've had a deal where I sold like a $30 fig and it went for $10, and I'm like, hey man, steals on deals, buddy. That's what I'm all about. Steals on deals. Customers happy, I'm happy, and that dude tipped me $20. So, I mean, take care of your customers or take care of you. That's the thing that I've learned talking to Jandern, talking to Nick. There's Nick the Brick guy. You got Fat Figs, you got Fritz, you got Whoppy. All of those guys, none of them shame their buyers. If their guys are getting good deals, you got to be happy for them. That's honestly, that's probably one of the reasons I got to over 1,000 as fast as I did, is because when I would sell a fig, whatever it sold for, it sold for. I sell a good product. I don't sell broken figs. Um, uh, I take care of, when I ship stuff, I ship it packaged really nicely. And I champion and I cheer when my guys get good deals and they come back for deals. I've had shows where one guy buys everything.
Wow.
I mean, it happens, but I've been that guy. And that's, again, it's, you get out of it what you put into it. I helped a kid last night or the night before, brand new seller. He had like 25 figs. And as I'm scrolling through, I'm always just looking. He had some decent looking figs. I clicked on it, and he's talking, and I don't even know how old he was. He didn't sound very old, maybe 15, 16. But he was talking about, he's selling these figs and some of these sets because he wants to buy the UCS Falcon. That's his goal. And I'm like, man, that's that's a great reason to come to Whatnot. He's not a regular seller. He does some stuff, but he had a goal. He had some extra stuff. And we started looking at what he had, and I think I bought a 3 or 4 fig bundle from him, that I put together, and then I was working, so uh, I was gone for a couple of hours, and then he popped up again later in the night with another show, trying to finish selling what he had, and he sent me a message because you can tag people that have bought from you when you start a show, and he tagged me, and I went back in there, and he had 10 or 15 figs left, and he was like 150 or $200 short of getting the Falcon. And I went through, and he had a Zuckus, which is a $50 fig, and he had a blind Canaan, which is a $50 fig, and then he had a couple of just regular clones and things like that. And then he had a sealed 20th anniversary, the poly bag for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I put all that stuff together for him, and I bought the rest of it from him. I think I ended up getting like 8 or 9 things for another $200. But he needed 150 to get his Falcon, and we made a deal, and I bought everything he had left. Um, and he was thrilled. He was over the moon. He's like, "Oh man,
Awesome.
I can go get my Falcon this weekend." It's like, "Yeah, buddy, do that. Get out there, man. If you can help somebody in the Lego community get more Lego." I mean, the kid was ecstatic. And I don't know if I don't have the new Falcon. I have the old one. The newer one's on my list of things to get. I just haven't done it yet. Um, but building that big Falcon, because I just had to rebuild mine, which is a nightmare. But just building that Falcon, when you're done building it, it's such an impressive piece. I mean, again, the Falcon is what got me started with Lego way back in the day. I had Lego when I was a kid, but I got out of it. I didn't get back into Lego until that came out. That
Mhm.
brought me into the Lego store, and then from there, it's just gotten worse and worse.
Uh,
But
yeah,
those are the kind of things.
now you get that itch when you go a little too long.
I never go too long without Lego.
Yeah.
There's always Lego to do. As it is now, I have we have a backlog in the house. It's beyond insane of things to build. So, but whatnot, it's it's a very fun experience. You can make money at it. There's people that do it for a living now. There's people that's what they do for a living is whatnot. Um, and if that's something that you want to do, there's a space for you on the platform to do it. But if you're trying to make a little extra money so that you can go buy a new piece of Lego, there's a space for you on the app for that. Um, but don't be afraid to tell people what you need. Don't let people bully you. Because there's people out there that will. They'll be like, "Oh man, just take a little less. Start it for less because you know people are going to bid it up." That's not necessarily the case. I mean, you can tell from your stream if you've got people in there, and that's another thing. You don't need 100 people in a stream to have a good stream. I've had great streams with 10 people in it because you get 3 or 4 people that are willing to bid, and I mean, you can have a really great stream. So my last
Now,
stream before I came out here was one of those streams. That was the stream I got 150 people and it put me over 1,000. That was a last minute stream. I didn't think I was going to do it because we were about to go on vacation. It was right after all of the Death Star stuff. So like everybody was giving Death Stars away and I wasn't. So there wasn't, I stayed off the app. I didn't run any auctions because, all the big sellers, they all had all the people in there. And I was like, I'll just let these people run. And we were going on had a vacation. But I hadn't had an auction for over a week. And that's another thing that you really need to do. Stay with it. Stay
yeah.
regular. So I did a just kind of a pop up. Hey, I'm gonna run these. I initially thought I was gonna run 50 figs, um, and it turned into like 75, 80 figs, and then a couple of builds, and then some poly bags, and I ended up going from you know maybe a $500 night to like 900. And then I got a
Wow.
ton of followers out of it, and it put me over 1,000. You were talking about how they want you to run for 2 hours straight. I went into that stream thinking it was going to be, an hour quick stream. I ran that stream for 4 hours, and it didn't feel like it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
If you
long
get a
time.
good group and it gets to where you're just rolling and having fun, it's not about the sale. It's not about the selling. It's about hanging out. You're showing everybody what you got. You got people in there looking for specific things. Sometimes there's a great mesh that happens. Um, you know, I had a bunch of different random clones that these particular folks were looking for that night. I had a bunch of pilots. I had a guy that was looking for nothing but pilots, classic X-wing pilots. I had 10 of those. He ended up buying a bunch of them. I mean, every night is different, and if you stick with it and if you're good to your people, they'll be good to you.
Now,
From what I've seen.
so you've talked a lot about selling minifigs. I
Mhm.
know there are people, actually, I think it was the Whoppy stream that you were talking about. He gave away a bunch of Death Stars. Was that the stream where he did 1,000 sealed sets?
No,
No.
that was a different stream.
Okay.
This was
He's
a
such an animal.
dude. He calls them mega streams. That's what
Yeah.
Whoppy calls them. He calls them mega streams. And he'll run forever. I think actually, there's a seller named Robert Maynard. And he's been doing it a long time. And I think he was one of the first guys to do these 12, 14, 24 hour streams where he just runs. And that's another level. but yeah, Whoppy will put together some really, really cool streams. I've been in quite a few of them. You know, the nature of my work, you know, I get one day off when I'm on a deployment or whatever, and it's usually a Sunday. Uh, and one of his mega streams was on a Sunday, and I watched it from the time he started to the time he finished. And I stayed in there. We chatted a bunch throughout the stream, and it was really cool. And again, that wasn't about buying. It wasn't about me buying stuff. It wasn't about him selling stuff to me. It was about hanging out and just having a good time. So, but yes, those guys are next level. But
Do you think your average seller can get away with selling sets the way that people sell minifigs?
it depends on the set.
Tough, right? Okay.
It depends on the set. And it depends on your price. Don't expect to sell them for retail.
Okay.
Most people that sell the sets, and Whoppy in particular, most of his sets that when he does one of those 1,000 sets deals, those are used built sets. Most of the time, they're
Okay.
not sealed. Now he will have some sealed sets that he'll run in there as well, but they're usually high dollar sets, high value, you know, more rare items. So it's difficult. So I would imagine, like from your standpoint, you are kind of a storefront. Bricklink, a lot of people that sell on Bricklink, they're a storefront. These are my items. This is what they sell for. That's good for the buy it now. All of those items, throw them in your buy it now, have them available all the time. What people have had success with on a lot of those buy it nows and some of those sets is, during your auction, if you've got a good run going, you can direct your people to look through the buy it now. And if you've got a set, say you got a set that you've got 50 of and you're looking to unload some of them, you can do a quick flash sale and knock like 5-10% off of it, and advertise that while you're doing your other stuff. And those people that are in there, you'll grab their attention and upsell them that. A lot of people do that. That's a good way to do it. Ryan, if you watch Ryan's streams, because he'll run some of these bigger streams, and he's always got a lot of stuff in his buy it now. And he's constantly running different flash sales throughout the show. But other sellers do the same thing. So you can do that. If you're gonna do a set auction, it would need to be something that you pre-advertise pretty heavy. Make sure every set that you're gonna have in the auction is listed in the buy it now tab, so that when you advertise this show, people can go in and look at what you're gonna sell. They can put a bell on it, basically, so that when it pops up, it alerts them, hey, this item that you were looking for is up for auction. It'll bring them in. They can also pre-bid on a lot of items. So that's a way to do some of those things too. But I would imagine a full Whoppy could probably do. Whoppy is probably the only ones who could pull off a complete full new set show. But he would, because he's got that kind of a fan base audience. But even him, I don't think you could sell them all at retail. Now he might be able to if they're all retired sets or stuff like that. But if you're just running through your stock of stuff that's available, chances are you might sell a couple, but you're not maybe going to sell a lot.
Well, it's I don't know, 60%, no, more than that, probably 70% of what I have on hand is retired. So there's a decent amount, but not fully baked, like a year or two retired.
But I mean, even that. So that in that situation, there is a market for that. But you're going to want to, um, you're still going to need to run them as an auction. Um, uh, because I mean, you don't want to have just a buy it now show. That's you're not gonna hold people in there for that.
Yeah.
So that would be one that you could definitely do. You would definitely want to put in a fair amount of legwork on that, so that you know what items you're going to sell. If you want to dollar start any of them, if you want to start them at a certain amount,
Yeah.
um, uh, and then make sure that it's available for pre-bid ahead of time, far enough so that people can bookmark that item and be there for it.
Okay. Now,
So, but yeah, there is a market for that. It's a smaller market. It's a very specific market. But
okay.
if you can connect with those buyers, then you can do that.
Okay. So that would have to be. It sounds like that would have to be, have your, I don't know, whatever the term is, your following, your subscribers, whatever. You have your people, and then sprinkle in one of those from time to time. Don't make that your regular stick. Okay.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to do it as a regular, because it's not as exciting. It
Yeah,
doesn't
certainly not.
it doesn't bring, because I mean
Voice to the art.
the auction is people are competitive by nature,
Yep.
and the best sellers out there are able to make the people in their stream excited about the item and want to bid on the item. Some of them there's people that can make people overbid on items. I have been in streams where the freaking Rex Y-Wing microfighter that's $7 at Walmart right now. You can go buy it tomorrow. People
Yep.
pay $15 for that on a stream.
That's
I have
crazy.
seen that. And I mean, kudos to you if you've got that kind of a wild show going. Man, capitalize on it. Use it.
Yep.
Do it, because they're not all going to be that way. And you don't want them to be that way either. Uh, you want to be successful. You want to not lose money. But if you're the seller that's always selling over retail,
Then
especially on
nobody
stuff
wants to
like
come and
that,
play anymore, right?
you're gonna turn off a customer base quickly.
Yep.
And especially if you're not magnanimous about it. I talk about a lot of the guys that I watch a lot, Whoppy, Fritz, Jandern, because I've learned by watching them. But those guys, if they have an auction that a figure's going crazy priced for, Jandern specifically, I think tonight, he was doing he sold the AT-AT, the gingerbread AT-AT build only. He was selling one of those. Uh, and the bidding got up to like $60. And he was telling people, stop bidding. This will become available. I
Yep.
appreciate that you want it, but guys, don't go crazy. It's gonna be available. Um, he's looking out for his customers. And
Yep.
I've been the beneficiary of an auction that I overpaid for a figure. You get into some of these streams and you're having fun with everybody and you're just being goofy and somebody puts a
Get
freaking battle
trigger
droid up.
happy.
Well, somebody puts a battle droid up there and then it becomes who can pay the most for it. And, one of these little cheapy battle droids is $1. People are paying
Yep.
$20 for it. What happens is the good sellers, the good hosts, when
Yep.
that auction is over and when you get that item in the mail, they'll send you 10 or 15 of those battle droids and be like,
Yep.
thank you very much for having such an awesome show. They take
Yep.
care of their people. And I've seen that, and I try to do that as well. I don't really have the crazy bidding wars yet. Once or twice I've had a figure go a little crazy, but nothing in any way, shape, or form to that level. But those are the people that care.
Yeah.
And that's what I, I sound like a broken record.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So
All right. So now I'm going to try to ask you the worst question, but I'm going to ask in the most cautious way. So as far as acquiring inventory, now I'm clearly not going to ask sources because that's the whole thing, right?
yeah, well, I can answer that question very easily for you. I have not made the inroads into the crazy sources yet. I
Okay.
do it the hard way. I scour auctions. I scour um, the different sales sites. I go into people's auctions and I buy stuff. I constantly try to find the deals at the stores, um, and I do it the hard way.
That is hard.
It's that I because I bought for well over a year before I ever sold. When I started, I had a pretty decent collection of stock, I guess you could say. And I stay, nature of my job, I'm sitting in a hotel room from 6 o'clock at night until 7 o'clock in the morning the next day when I go to work, by myself. I can scour auctions and Poshmark and Mercari and eBay and Marketplace Moms and all of that. I can do that, and I've gotten lucky a couple times. Um, and you keep doing it that way. Um, so, but I also know that a lot of times some of the stuff I buy, my margin isn't as good as a lot of other people's. But I went into this business knowing that I'm not going to make money for, I'm prepared for a couple of years. What I make, I'm putting right back in. Now taxes and, I can write some stuff off. I think at the end of the year, I'm going to break even and I'm going to get better and better and better. And eventually I will get to the point where I can crack some of these deals. But yes, that is something that I did not, I knew it was something I had to pay attention to, and I knew it was something that was going to be uh, difficult. I didn't realize it was as difficult.
Yeah.
So I mean, that is that is the hardest part of what I do is keeping inventory. Um, so I mean,
Okay.
but again, it's part of the experience. You've got to, you know, earn your way in. You've got to, learn, and it helps teach you the product very well as well. That it's, again, you find out which items are selling well. You start to look at trends. You try to get ahead of trends, um, things like that.
Right.
And that's one of the things I've worked at, and I try to pay attention to keep the business going, because that's the hardest part is
Yeah.
keeping inventory. So, and keeping good inventory. I mean, anybody can have uh, anybody can have regular old clones and droids, but
Yeah.
that's not gonna continue to bring people in. I mean, anybody can go buy this battle pack, and if you get it on a good deal, you're getting $4 a fig, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so, but if you turn around and have a bunch of sales for $1, that's not a good day.
No, it's really not.
But again, I came into this not looking to just make a ton of money and retire and quit my job and all of that.
Yeah.
I understand that there's going to be work, that there's going to be um, not the best profit to begin with. But the guys I talked to when I started told me the same thing. Um, I think Fritz will tell you he didn't really start making money until his third or fourth year.
Wow.
Um, Everything else
And now,
was building. I mean, he was getting bigger, but he wasn't necessarily making money. Um, so, but he said once he hit that hump, it was it was a very noticeable hump for him. He hit it, and now he's doing a show right now. Uh, it's the first show in his actual building. He
which
just
is crazy.
that is so awesome to see
Yeah.
and to know. That's really really cool. I mean, you can't be prouder for the guy. This is a guy that has worked out of his garage, worked in multiple states across the country for years now. And talk about you can't talk about a nicer guy.
Yeah.
He has brought dozens of people into Whatnot as sellers, taking away customers of himself, giving them to other people. I mean, it's he gives more than he takes, and he still does seller shows. He'll do once a week. He'll do a seller show where he basically him and a couple different guys get together and they talk about what you need to do and what not to do, and then they raid people all the time. I mean, that's what you aspire to be, is somebody like that. And then when that person gets successful, man, you can't be anything but happy for them.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
but yeah,
Yeah. Hasn't he had 2 kids since he started too?
I think so.
It's
Yeah.
wild.
hmm
Wild.
And he was deployed. I mean,
Yep.
he was in the military. He was gone for a while. So it's funny. I still have, and I told him this not that long ago. I have from over a year ago when I first got onto Whatnot. He was a seller then, but he was so much smaller than he is now. I have. He used to give away. It was an R2D2, like one of the older R2D2s, basically glued to a, a 2x4 brick, and it was just written in a marker Fritz, and that
Wow.
was like he would give that to people, and I still have it. It's on my shelf. And I told him about that. He's like, "Oh man, you've been with me for a long time."
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
but
I actually just made my first Whatnot purchase the other day after all the streams I've watched.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it was actually thanks to Moments.
okay,
In one of his Instagram stories, he had this little plastic thing with a bunch of minifigure heads in it.
right,
It was like a minifig head organizer.
yep.
I had never seen one. It was the coolest friggin' thing. I had to have it right away. So he linked me to it. Lord Business was the
Yep,
seller.
yep.
And I don't know how, but somehow I had some kind of like free shipping credit or something. So
Yes, Whatnot does a deal. If it's your first purchase with Whatnot, every seller has a link where if you click on it, you get $15 for your first purchase with Whatnot towards
yeah,
whatever you want. But every seller has that link for the
man,
very first
I
time you
used
make a
that
purchase.
poorly, huh?
What was that?
I used that opportunity very poorly. It
I
sounds
mean,
like
how much was the thing?
um $5.
Oh, well, but it covered the
So
shipping, so 10.
yeah, it was no, yeah, it was $5 free shipping. Is what it ended up being.
Because it covered the shipping too. So it was
Yeah,
$10. You
yeah,
used 10 out of your 15. But yeah, I feel it because I actually just ordered the same thing because I just started getting. That's another thing that you'll learn.
build them yourself.
Well, so if you're a seller and a buyer on Whatnot, you will. Well, if you're a good seller or a buyer, if you're a good buyer that's going to turn around and sell, when you get stuff in, you check it. Yes,
Yep.
it's supposed to be good. Yes, it's supposed to be XYZ figure. It happens where things aren't quite right. And it's not necessarily the guy that sold it to you's fault. A lot of times these figures have changed hands on whatnot 6 or 7 times. You'll get a guy with the wrong head on it. You'll get a guy with
Yeah.
the wrong legs on it. You'll get a mismatched set. So I was never. There are people that sell parts. There are people that all they do is parts. They have parts shows. Whoppy will do a part show,
Really?
and it's a big show because some parts are people are looking for that. I
Right.
never bought from part shows because I'm like I'm not in the business of parts. I don't want a bunch of parts. I don't want to deal with a bunch of parts. I don't have to jack with any of that.
Yeah.
Well,
You were
um,
mistaken, sir.
let me uh oh shoot, here, we'll go this way. So one of the things I did this trip, I have a giant bag of things that mismatched and didn't match and didn't go together, and I'm in the process of organizing all of that. I am now in the business of having parts.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, but it's a byproduct. There's nothing you can do. Um, I pride myself on quality figs, quality items. If I'm going to sell somebody something, I want to make sure it's not damaged. I want to make sure it's correct. Um, I don't, I don't, I don't want somebody to spend their hard-earned money on a fig that they've wanted and been wanting for a long time, and have them get it and it not be right.
Yep.
Um, that's not me. So I very rarely will sell damaged items. Every now and then I'll have something come up. But if you've ever seen me in one of my shows, when I'm doing my show, every fig that comes up, we pop the arms, we spin it in the light so you get the
Yep.
reflection off the side. I'm checking everything because I go through all of my stuff before I plate it.
Yep.
And I check everything. Um, this last auction, I had the horn company, and I went to sell it, and both sides of the torso were cracked,
Ugh.
and I don't know if it cracked on the plane, because I had it in a Ziploc bag in my backpack, but I, I mean, they were cracked. And I pull it out and I'm doing my thing. I lift that arm and there's this giant crack. I'm like, holy crap! So, and a guy was paying like
Yeah.
$10 for it. I'm like, we're not doing that. So we canceled his auction, and I'm like, I'll get a new torso, and we'll go from there. And I had 3 or 4 people in the stream say, hey, I'll buy it. I'll buy the damaged one. And I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I dollar started it, and it still sold for $6. But
Yeah.
I pride myself on selling a quality product. Um, and I've had several customers tell me that they appreciate my attention to detail on stuff, that they know that if they order something from me, it's going to come in really, really good condition. And I've had a lot of people, compliment the way I package my stuff and send it. So I try to, and I learned that from Jandern. You watch Jandern and the way he packages stuff, or if you buy from Jandern and the way he packages stuff, it's impressive. So the little things make a difference. Um, and it's all just to make yourself better and put together a good product.
Yep.
Um,
Have you set a some kind of standard for when you like poly bag versus box? So under $10 gets a bubble mailer, over whatever amount gets a box, that kind of thing.
Most of the time, it's got more to do with the fig than well, the price does come into it a little bit. Um, I I started off doing a lot of the bubble mailers. Um,
It's a little 4x6.
so like you got your bubble mailer.
Yep.
I started off with these and the bigger size, because I thought it was really cool. You could get cool colors, different things, that kind of stuff. And then again, I totally give the credit for this to Jandern, because I was in one of his streams and we were talking one time, and he was like, "I don't do bubble mailers at all anymore. Um, if you break down the price on when you buy them, um, the bubble mailers are 30, 40 cents a piece, depending on how you get them.
Yeah.
You can get a box for 45 cents.
That's
If you buy,
expensive.
not necessarily. I mean, that's the most. You can get them cheaper depending on how many you buy. But I mean, if I'm
Yeah.
paying 30 for one of these, 15 cents more, I can have one of these.
Yeah.
This is a better deal for the customer.
Yeah.
So, and again, a lot of this I can write off.
Yep.
So I look at it from a business standpoint of, do I want my customer to get one of these one day that some not very nice postal person stomped on or
Yep.
ripped or whatever? Or is it worth 15 cents to me to throw one of these in there and go? So that was kind of an eye-opening thing for me when we had that conversation. I was like, that's right. That's that's incredibly intelligent. I mean,
Yeah. What's the shipping weight on those boxes?
I don't know, point 1 or 2 ounces, 3 ounces, 4 ounces. The way Whatnot does shipping, they do. You can select 0 to 1 ounce, 1 to 3 ounce, 4 to 8, 9 to 13, and then I think 12 to 16.
Okay. So
Um,
standard shipping bands. Okay.
Basically, shipping gets really weird with Whatnot. Um, if you follow any of the Whatnot, because I'm in a couple of Facebook Whatnot groups, and those people sell everything. They're not just Lego people. But the number one problem that most sellers have with Whatnot is the shipping and getting it right. Luckily, with Lego, because it's such a small product, we don't have that issue quite as much. So when all of my auctions, when I sell, I do 1 to 3 ounces for every item I sell, unless it's a set. If it's a bigger set, I'll change the amount.
Yeah.
But for the most part, everything is 1 to 3 ounces. And then the way the label prints out, because again, Whatnot is different from eBay. In eBay, you when you make your listing, you select the different uh, shippings that you have access to, and then at
Mhm.
the end of the auction, whenever the person wins, they can choose from your list how they want it shipped. If they want it priority, if they want it regular, yada yada blah blah, and then eBay charges them X amount. And then once that is done, eBay sends you a message. You sold your item. The customer paid for priority shipping. This is what they paid. At that point, you can buy a label from eBay, and they'll give you their discounted price for a couple different options. But you typically will make $1, $2, $3, whatever on the label through eBay. You select it, you print it, you go from there. Whatnot handles all shipping.
Okay.
I don't do anything with shipping except set the weight of the item. Everything is calculated by Whatnot. Everything is bundled by Whatnot. Everything is done based off of the buyer's zip code and how much stuff they buy. Um,
Okay.
I don't have a say. I honestly, I literally can't choose. So at the end
Yeah.
of my auctions, when my show ends, I get a list of however many items. They call it fulfillment. And it'll bundle everything together. You print your label right then. And then you take that label and you put it on whatever package you're going to use. Most of the time, a small box, sometimes a bigger box, but for the most part, it's not very big for me.
Mhm.
But again, the shipping stuff, that's all Whatnot, which is good and bad. It's good because they handle all of the damages, they handle lost stuff, all of that. So I mean that's
That's
nice.
nice. Yeah.
If something is damaged in transit, Whatnot will reimburse the customer for whatever they bought, and they still pay me
Right.
because it was damaged in transit. So that's really cool. Um, but God only knows how much money they're making off of the shipping. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't even know because it's got to be quite a bit. Um, so Some people have an issue with that. I personally don't. I think every selling platform is going to have their quirks. For Whatnot,
Yep.
shipping is their quirk. And again, I'm in a business model with Whatnot to where the shipping doesn't affect me. People that sell clothes, people that sell heavy items, they have routinely had issues with shipping and bundling, and you know, clothes being too big to fit in a box that's paid for. So knock on wood, we don't have that problem.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you come to Whatnot, just be aware of that. I mean, it's not difficult. Uh, it's actually pretty nice. Um, so, but it's one more thing that Whatnot makes the money off of.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that they're making their money in the volume.
mhm,
So maybe they're clearing an extra 10 cents per shipment. But when they're
mhm.
doing, hundreds of thousands a day, that adds up, right?
I would imagine it's probably more than that.
Yeah. I mean, how could they? So
Because
if
take
if
one of my items, most of my sales, they get charged $4.50 for shipping.
mhm,
I put it in a box this big.
yep,
It gets shipped ground. I mean, what does that cost? Whatnot.
I don't know. I mean, so when I
Three
ship
bucks.
a 3 ounce 4x6 bubble mailer, exactly the same size you just had, even the same color you just had, which is kind of funny. If I ship that through Pirate Ship and I'm sending it, across country or something, it's $4.85 to ship that.
Well, maybe they're not making that much then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, I'm sure they've negotiated good rates,
Probably.
but I mean, even if they're making, 10% or something, 10%, I mean,
And
that's
there's a
only
lot of them. There's
30, 40
definitely a lot of
cents.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I do love those shipments that are, under 4 ounces though. They're so easy.
yeah. So another whatnot seller joy. um, you don't get paid until your item is delivered.
Okay.
So when my auction ends, I get my list of fulfillment, print out all my labels, and then I box all my stuff up, and then I take my bag of goodies to the post office because it's all USPS. It's only
Okay.
USPS.
Okay.
And you get to sit there and let them scan every one of the items that you're dropping off. Um, there are some people that just take and drop the bag and walk away.
No way. You need a receipt.
If you're going to sell on Whatnot, don't do that. Um, I have also been told, I was told this by my local post office. We have one of the scan stations at my local post office to where I can walk up, scan my barcode, and put it in the box, and it'll give me a receipt that way.
Hmm.
I was told by my local post office that that scan isn't official until they do it again at the end of the day.
Oh, that's a waste of time.
It's scary. I've had items that I've paid for that were scanned in one of those, and then the package just disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that the seller dropped it off. It shows it went to the post office, and then from there, nothing. Now Whatnot will refund you for that, but a seller doesn't get paid for that until Whatnot refunds me for the post office losing it, and that's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
That sucks.
yeah, um, and then Whatnot has requirements for scan rates and ship dates and stuff like that. To be a good seller, it's I think 3 business days. You have to
Oh,
have it
that's a
scanned.
long time. Okay.
Yes and no. I typically do a show on Thursdays,
Hmm.
so I have to have them in by Monday,
Yeah.
which most of the time isn't a problem, but every now and then it can be.
Yep.
Um, So, and some of these sellers, uh, I'm a one man guy. So if I
Yeah,
sell 50, 75 items,
it's a lot.
I've got a lot to package and ship. I don't have a, a shipping department.
You don't have a
um,
Tanya on board. Yeah,
no.
yeah,
So I mean, and you talk to you talk to some of these other bigger sellers, and they have college kids or high school kids that come in the afternoons and package all their stuff up and ship them all for them.
yeah.
And that's a really cool way. Hopefully, one day I'll get to that point. But yeah, it's that's another thing that you don't think about, and the shipping supplies. I mean, again, I did it. I got a business LLC. I got a tax exempt. I got all of that. I'm currently waiting for Amazon. I tried to get a business account with Amazon, and their process is a giant pain in the ass. Um, I've sent all the documents in 3 times, and they keep telling me to send them again. So
Yep.
to try and get, you know, the business account for that kind of shipping supplies. But even so, I mean, I'm Prime. I buy enough to where it's not super expensive. Um, and but now I have a section of my garage that's full of boxes and full of bubble wrap and shipping stuff and
Yeah,
bags and bags of little clear figure holder bags. I
yeah.
mean, and then you've got your goodies that you have to put in every bag.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I've had a couple different iterations now of the logo and what I give away. Some of the guys give brick pieces away. I do stickers, logo stickers.
Those are sharp.
So these are cool. And then I'll throw these in on some of my bigger, better, wilder customers. It's
It's a
the
hologram.
hollow, yeah.
Nice.
So, but that's something that you look at, you learn, and you try to do, and then you get with some of the other sellers and some of the folks that do custom things. Like Brick Love's one of the guys, and you can start getting the little Lego pieces and the little tiles with your logo on them. I'm not quite to that level, but I'm knocking on that door. And you start throwing those goodies in. So,
Yeah, yeah. I
um,
need to. I need to talk to Brick Love. Find. I don't know. Get an introduction over there. Uh, Brick Love is a family operation. Is that right?
I met him at Brick World, but it was a short conversation. I haven't had any conversations with him lately. I've talked to Fritz a couple times. Fritz is like, send him a message, he'll take care of you. I'm like, well, okay, but
Yeah. That's always awkward to start off
yeah,
like
I don't
that.
want to be like, hey, man. So, but yes, I need to do that. And once I'm at a point I'd like to do a sig fig. I can't decide what I want.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm at that level. And then once I figure out what I want, we'll start doing that. And what I'll probably do is wait till Brick World this year,
Yep.
and maybe do some uh, schmoozing
Awesome.
there.
Yeah.
Put a face with a name. I always find that's better than just sending somebody a random message. Hey,
Yep.
I'm a friend of Bob down the street's uncle.
Yep. Last year I gave out my sig fig. My dumbass didn't even keep one for myself.
Oh man,
I don't even have one. It's like, man, the son of a bitch. Come on.
I
And
mean, I can give it back to you if you want.
no, 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 no. So that torso, the only person who has that in any reasonable quantity is in like
Mm,
Japan or China or something. And they have
Jeez.
50 of them. And like, I don't trust buying a quantity that big internationally.
Yeah.
Not because of the country of origin, but just because it's an international shipment. Like, man,
So
I'll probably just have
I
something custom made.
I ordered um I ordered some stuff from Germany through Bricklink.
Mhm.
Um, I ended up getting a really good deal on the Solo TIE Fighter set that had the Mud Trooper Han, the Min
Yeah.
Min Trooper, and um, the Woody Harrelson character. Um, I ended up ordering that from a seller in Germany. I got a great deal. The whole set was like $90. And it came okay. I didn't have a problem with it, but I was
Yeah.
nervous because I've never done the same thing. I've never bought anything overseas, so I was a little concerned. But it worked out. So I mean, it
Yeah.
might not be, and there it's not going to be a very big box for 50 figs.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Then you run the risk of waiting 4 weeks for it and it disappearing. You know.
yeah, um, yeah. I made my order right before all that tariff stuff went into account, so I didn't have any issues with it. But I mean, it came quick too. It shipped
Yeah.
DHL. And I want to say it was only like 21 days from the time I ordered it to the time I
Oh,
got it.
that's not bad.
It
Okay.
shocked the hell out of me. Because yeah, I mean, same thing. I was like, all right, well, this might show up in a year.
Yep. All right.
But
Maybe I will give it a shot then.
it was one of those figs where, or one of those deals where, the figs were worth so much, and I got it for such a good price that, you know, it was a the seller had a bunch of things that they had sold. It was a good seller, so I wasn't that worried about that. It again, same thing with you. It's not about the seller at that point. It's got a long way to go through shipping companies that normally don't really care about their packages.
Yep. Yep.
So we've all seen the
Yeah.
movies, the kid playing soccer with your
Yep.
with your package.
Yeah. All
Um,
the ring cam recordings people have now. Yeah.
mhm.
Yep. It's bad. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So we talked about shipping and inventory.
Mhm.
So your setup is your phone, you
Yes.
said right now?
Yep.
Okay.
And I've talked to a lot of the sellers. Most of them just use the phone. The way the app is built, it's optimized for the phone. If you've
Okay.
got a decent, I mean, I have an iPhone 17 or whatever Pro Max. If you've got a decent phone, that's your best bet for running the actual auction. Now, one of the beauties of the architecture is, um, I have my laptop too, so I can run my auction off of my phone, and I can be in that same auction on my laptop.
So you can
Uh,
see chat bigger so you can actually
Chat is
read it.
bigger. If you need to add an item real quick or add a giveaway, or something like that, that's a thing. But that's only something that I've learned in the last month. My first 3 4 months, um, I only did the phone, and it can be a little tedious to add a auction or add something in, on the phone in the middle of an auction. So.
So everybody,
Um,
look at my thumbs.
Well, I mean, it's not so you can't even tell because you're normally just whatever's on the screen, but you can't pay attention to the chat at that point.
Yeah.
You can't see what's on the screen. And you tell people, hold on a second, give me just a
Oh,
minute. I'm adding this. But everybody that's been on the app, most of the buyers and sellers, they know what's happening and that nobody cares. You're not going to get people heckling you for it or anything like that. But it is a it is something that you don't know. Um, but as far as running the auction, using your phone is the best way to do it.
okay.
Um, it's the most optimal, and that's from experience and from talking to a lot of other sellers. So because
Now,
then
if
you have the ability to just pop the phone up and go, okay, let me do a quick overview, and you run through your figs, and you can do all of that. And then you can set your little deal back down. So like I've got my little. This is what I normally. This is where my phone sits. I set everything in front of it,
okay,
and then that's always in the same spot. You set that up before you start your show. It's usually in the same spot each time. So it's once you set it back down, you're right back where you need to go.
okay,
And it's it's efficient, um, and it gives you
I
the freedom to show your stuff.
I can just see myself trying to set it back on there and dropping the phone and swearing.
Oh, everybody does that.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it. If I've seen it once, I've seen it 50 times. Fritz has done it 5 or 6 times. You're like, damn it, I dropped my phone. And it goes bouncing
Oh,
across the floor. I mean, it happens all the time.
God.
Everybody does it.
Awesome.
Or what happens is you've got your phone plugged in. That I see that a lot too. They'll have the phone plugged in because running the app, you want to keep your phone plugged in because it will
Yep.
suck the battery down. But they'll be plugged in and they'll pick the phone up to go show something,
And
and the
just yank
cord is
it.
stuck, and it goes, "Arr!" And they go, "Oh, grab my phone." Yeah. So I mean that you see that all the time. And again, it's par for the course. Nobody gets mad at you. Nobody freaks out. You might feel embarrassed the first time it happens, but then like the third or fourth time, you're like, I'm a dumbass.
God.
I forgot to
I
unhook
was,
my phone. And then people in the chat start laughing at you and making fun of you because they're your friends.
yeah. Yeah. It was a couple of months ago. I was doing a stream and was that? Yeah, that was public. That was on the public channel. And I was going to do a walkthrough of the app early on. And we got on and everything broke immediately. That Wi-Fi wasn't cooperating and cameras were doing the wrong thing. And I was trying to screen share and the app kept freezing. The app was fine. The computer started freezing
Oh, geez.
because I put it in whatever it is, developer mode to try to get, a different shot to share. Everything was locking up. It was 12 minutes of just me fumbling around like an idiot and while we were live. Oh, I felt like such a friggin' don't use that word. It wasn't great. Just soaked in sweat by the time we got run. It's like, all right, folks, we're gonna do this. We're here now.
That's the kind of thing in these auctions that your customers actually they like it. It shows you're human. It shows you're normal. Um, you know, your guys most of the time in the chat they're going to be like, "Don't worry about it," or they're going to crack a joke about it. I mean, it's like the whole Brent's mic thing. I mean, it's the same thing.
It's a classic. Yeah.
10 minutes of everybody watching the screen going, "Jesus, Brent, what are you doing?" But nobody leaves. Nobody gets
Yep.
mad and hangs up. They're all just like, "All right, let's watch this dumpster fire and see how long it lasts."
Yep.
And then it
Oh,
turns
man.
into a funny song that everybody loves.
Poor Brent.
But
Like
I mean, it's
I remember that, and
yeah. Oh,
I
I did
felt
too.
so bad for him, man.
Oh, it was great though.
Oh,
And I mean, after the fact, it becomes a funny joke. I mean,
yeah.
that's the thing. It's a great community. You'll have we talked about the mod ability on the people in your stream. With that mod ability comes a hidden chat. So the people in the mod that are mods, they can have a chat with me that only me and the mods can see.
That's awesome.
So a lot of times they can hear somebody talking about a specific fig they're looking for, or if you forgot to run a giveaway, they're like, "Hey, dumbass, run a giveaway." Or they'll be like, energy's dropping a little bit, do some sudden death. I mean, some of these guys that have been doing it a long time, they can read a crowd and help you as you're doing it because it's real easy when you're running an auction to get tunnel vision because you're trying to, you know, get the item up, show it right. Once the sale ends, you got to get it. That's the other thing. When you're done with a sale, if you're not careful if you don't have a system for marking what item went on what auction, your fulfillment experience is gonna suck.
Okay.
But I mean, a lot of things are going on right there, and then it can get wild. If you get raided with a bunch of people, and you have people that start, you know, tipping a bunch or paying for these givvies and stuff like that. They come in, they'll do a tip train. It's a lot, and you can get super rattled super quick, and these guys are there to help. And you can't say enough for them. If you get a chance to be a mod, you try to take care of the guy you're helping. Um, I think I got sidetracked on that, where that train derailed. But the chat, so there's a mod chat, so
Okay.
you can
Yep.
talk to the people um, that are your mods as well to help you keep track of what's going on and keep the stream going, because you can lose momentum in a stream, and then you start losing people that are buying, because there's always a bunch of streams going, and 9 times out of 10, if you've got a stream going, you've got people popping in and out, um, looking at what other people are selling around, because there's always multiple streams going. So you'll have a core group of people that are in there, but then say I'm running a show and I don't know, M Clips or whatever is doing a Django Fett giveaway. People are popping in and out to get into his giveaway, and then popping back into mine. So you can get distracted, and then those people, if you're not running stuff uh, in a good way, if you're not you know taking care of the people in the stream, they'll get distracted and go somewhere else. That can happen. So you just you roll with the punches, and you do the best you can, and you learn every time you do it. You get better, and then every now and then you have a bad night.
Yep.
So um,
I I was on one of Christo's streams on eBay because he does eBay live,
I
right?
haven't seen that yet. I want
It's
to,
pretty
but I
good.
haven't made it over there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And he had the guy from Whatfig
Hmm.
on there sponsoring the Black Pearl giveaway,
Yeah,
right?
that's Jay Sparrow. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Thank you. So he sponsored that giveaway, and Stud City was promoting Whatfig,
Hmm.
which of course, I see that and, bells start going off. We do a lot of giveaways over here, and we're usually not very shy with them. So it's like, okay, does that work for Whatnot too? To sponsor a giveaway, even though we're not on the platform, we're a whole separate thing.
Yes, it can. Um, the the only thing I would caution you on that is um, getting normally the way we reward our sponsors. We have them follow and bookmark um, upcoming shows, follow them as a seller, that kind of thing. We push that when somebody sponsors something. We always there's a tag. They're highlighted for however long the it's usually a 5 minute countdown for the giveaway. But we highlight that person. And in the app, if you do that, somebody can click on your name real quick and go follow your stuff, and it doesn't take them out of Whatnot.
Yep.
For you guys, because I would imagine that you would actually need to be pulled out and taken to what, YouTube or
It would have to be an off-platform thing.
correct. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You could still do that. My problem with that would be
You're losing people from your
no, no,
show,
no, no, no.
right?
And I don't have a problem with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all, because 9 times out of 10 they're going to come back. They have to be
Yeah.
in. They have to be in my auction to win the giveaway.
Oh,
Um,
perfect. Okay. Yep.
but there's no incentive for them to actually leave Whatnot and go do that for you and come back. They may just say, I'll do it later and stay.
Okay.
So I don't want you to get shortchanged, and not get the benefit of those follows and those bookmarks. Now, I think that with a little trial and error, there'd be a way for us to mitigate that. Um, because one of the things I saw a couple of guys doing this last weekend, um, they had uh, uh, somebody had what was it they were giving away? It was a bigger set that was going to be the giveaway, and they were like, all right. They had the set, they put it and showed it. They're like, all right, we're gonna run this giveaway for this item when we hit whatever target of bookmarks or follows was. So like um they had they were in the stream, they were checking the site. They were the person running the auction and the person that was doing the giveaway. They were checking the site, going, "All right, we got," because it keep the bookmarks and stuff. It normally keeps track of the number of people bookmarking. Once we hit 50 bookmarks, we're going to run this giveaway. That would be
Okay.
the way to do that. Is, hey, we're going to run a giveaway for this item when we hit this milestone.
Okay. So the milestone happens and then the giveaway
Then you run
starts.
the giveaway.
Okay, that makes
That
sense.
would be a way to do that, which I think wouldn't be too difficult. Now, I'd love to take part in something like that. I don't know that I'm necessarily a big enough draw for you to swing your needle yet, but definitely a Jandern or a Fritz or one of those guys would be able to do that for you.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I'm happy to do whatever I can to get in on that. I actually wanted to ask you. I watched your video yesterday about the app that has the new search feature,
Yep.
and I signed up for it, and I thought I did everything, but I can't find it.
Oh,
So
that's right. You said you have an iPhone, right?
yeah,
Okay. So this is something I learned. So in signing up for the app is a little tricky, like the actual process. So when you get in and you create your account,
Mhm.
use the same email address you used to join through WAP.
Right.
That's pretty simple. And then it puts you in to fill out your profile, right?
Right.
So you put in your zip, whatever, your Discord handle, and I don't know, your name, I guess. I forget
Right.
what the 30 things are. With an iPhone, if you like swipe up, do anything to leave that screen,
Right.
it locks you out
Okay.
if you don't complete it. So I don't know if maybe that's the issue. Are
Well, I
you
think I
getting a
might have done it backwards. I think I signed up on the app before I signed up in the WAP.
okay? That should be okay. So when you click on Brick Leads, does it tell you it's a premium feature, or does that
It
work?
doesn't even show it.
Is it a gray screen?
It just it doesn't give me an option for anything other than like home and my profile. Well, I'll have to. We'll do it. I'll do it over the phone when I'm not streaming because I don't think I can get into it while we're doing this
Let
without
me
kicking me out of StreamYard.
let me see if um okay. Smokey says they were having trouble with it as well.
Oh, was he?
Yep. Oh, now you're all black.
Am I? My bad. All right, let me go back to StreamYard. Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, we're not going to jack with that. I'll get it. We'll get it worked out.
Okay.
But I was watching that, and as a whatnot seller and somebody who does this stuff the hard way, I was like, this will give me a list of stuff in my area for sale for what the prices are. I need this
Yep, for sure.
because I am the person you were talking about people who road trip for a deal. I am the person that
Yep.
will road trip for a deal.
Yep. There you go. All right. Smokey, did you end up getting in? Are you all set now? Yeah, I might have to post something in the Brick Dynasty Discord.
Hey there,
to,
Coop jumped in. Hey Coop, how's it
make sure
going?
that's all straightened out. Hoarder in here
Yeah,
now
I mean,
too. Hello.
I'm new. I haven't followed a lot of your stuff or gotten into a lot of your stuff, much to my detriment. I'm just I've been trying to survive with what I've got,
Yeah.
and I need to. I'm at the point where I need to start cultivating my relationships with the other folks in the community. I've done that on the Whatnot app with a lot of the Whatnot sellers, but
Mhm.
I need to do that with the actual broader Lego group, um, and start to expand that way. Because again, I want to get into the YouTube side of it. I have Instagram, but I need to develop that side as well. That's a goal to make me a more well-rounded member of the A fall community.
Well, whatever we can do to help, let us know. Uh, Actually, something I've been thinking about that we should probably implement soon. In the Brick Dynasty Discord, we have a channel for people to promote their BrickLink stores.
Okay.
I think I will probably extend that so people can promote their whatnot stuff in there too.
Okay.
Um, one of our mods in there has started doing whatnot, and he's been posting a couple times now. So I'd like to kind of bring more of that into there.
That wouldn't be
And then,
bad. And honestly, um, something that Ryan kind of does, that might be worth kicking around, uh, is Ryan will take um, collections from people uh, on consignment, sell them on Whatnot, use his platform for that. That might be something that there's a opportunity for your group and us Whatnot folk to develop. Or flip side to that is restocking specifically, because I have bought from some Bricklink folks. And if you get some guys that are willing to do bulk deals, on certain things, we can put together some things like that. I would definitely be very interested in that, because I mean I've gone through Bricklink and hit a couple stores and put together some builds or some you know baskets of like 200 figs, um, and tried to reach out to sellers to see if there's any kind of deal that can be made for buying that much. And I don't, it's very difficult to have that communication. Uh,
yeah,
so that would, I mean, I know I would definitely uh, be interested in doing something like that. Um,
cool.
and I'm not looking for pennies on the dollar, but because again, a lot of what we do, me specifically, um, because I'm still building a brand, the better fig selection, the better product I can put out, that's what's going to draw people to me in my current state.
Yeah,
So, I'm definitely, I'm not opposed to buying higher than a lot of the Whatnot sellers. I mean, some of those guys they're looking for wholesale price 40 cents on the dollar, and I'm not that guy. So again, I expect to lose money for the first couple years, but I also know that for me to grow, I need to set myself apart. And by doing that, if I can put a product out that not everybody else can have, that's not 50 clones that you can buy at Walmart tomorrow, that's, that's, that's important to me. And that's something that I can, you know, bring to y'all's world too. So,
are you going to be the 19th guy to sell that sealed Mr. Gold?
no, I don't think I'm not really interested in that craziness. I think
Has that changed hands like 4 times in the last week? Have you
I
seen
don't
that?
even know. From what I understand, there's like 4 of them out there.
Yeah,
Fritz said he had 2.
so
So
crazy.
I just I don't understand. I love Lego. I I don't mind high end Lego. I think there's a place for some of that stuff. But you start talking about that kind of fig, and that kind of price, and it's great for show, but that's really all it's good for is
Yeah,
show. You can't do anything with that figure. Um, every time it changes hands, the bag gets more and more worn. I mean, eventually it's going to tear open and the fig's going to fall out, and then somebody's going to lose half the value. Um,
yeah,
so, I mean, I applaud those guys for doing it. Hey, that's the level you're at, man. More power to you. You go chase that $10,000 fig. But I mean, I'm at a point where you know $10,000 is probably what I'll sell this year.
yeah.
And I'll be happy with that. And then moving forward, I'll go up from there. But I'd say that I'm going to be 10,000. Um, even though I started halfway through the year, um, I've done a lot better than I expected to.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yes. Now the end of year reckoning hasn't happened yet, where I sit down with my bookkeeper and they tell me all the terrible things that I did.
Yeah,
That's going to happen. But again, I'm prepared for it. So
yeah,
and I'm learning. I've never owned my own business. I've always worked for other folks. So I'm excited to do this. I think it's a really great opportunity. Um, and it's, again, if it helps pay for my Lego habit.
yeah. Well, you get the best of both worlds. You have your own business and you can do that, but you also have the 9 to 5 taking care of health insurance and all of those things. That, that's
Correct.
that's nice.
Yes. But I also have to travel all over the country. And if I have to bring a suitcase of figures with me every time I go somewhere, that's going to get old quick.
Yeah, yeah,
And setting up shows in hotel rooms does
yeah.
not make for a pretty display.
That's
So
half the
yes,
adventure, though. I
it
mean,
is now. So that and again, that's another thing that I'm making the best of what I got because I think, and I've done this I think once or twice with some of the shows. I've done it as a road show. Hey, I'm in Massachusetts this week. I'm in Delaware this week, and it's also something that I plan to uh, capitalize on as I get into the video world too, because as I travel, I can go to Bricks and Minifigs, I can go to Lego stores, I can do little things at other places, which I think also brings something a little different to the Lego world and to my particular page and whatever. It's something I can provide to fans and followers and things. So it's definitely a good opportunity, and I'm happy to leverage it as best I can. So, but yeah, it's a lot though. It's definitely a lot, and I'm lucky because work wise, it hasn't been very crazy busy. So I've been pretty lucky with what I've been doing. If we were doing full on catastrophe stuff, I'd be working 12-hour days and 7 to 7, and by the time I get home, I'm burnt. So that's gonna really limit anything I can do on the Sigs Brix side. Um, so, but we've been lucky. It's been a quiet year. So I've been very lucky to get this time to help uh, learn the role, learn the business, um, dip my toe in, and then fall in face first.
yeah. Well, hopefully you get shipped out to a decent area for clearance season.
So yeah, that That would be nice. But I mean, my last deployment, they had me in Vermont, and there's no Lego store at all in Vermont.
It's bad up there.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
for Lego, it's bad up there.
yeah.
There's some real nice areas in Vermont, but
Yeah, it was
it's not
great. But
Lego
I
country.
mean, I was driving 400 miles a day,
Ooh,
looking at vehicles, and those were some long days. So, and you've been, I mean, if you're from you know what the roads are like there. There's one freeway, everything else is just back roads. So,
yep,
400 miles on those roads, I mean, that's a 10-hour day.
yep,
So, yeah.
yeah. It's a
Um,
lot of trees.
yes,
lot
it
of
is.
trees. Yep, and the occasional scattering of dead deer. Yeah,
I'll actually say, I've seen a lot of that here in Delaware,
really.
surprisingly. I mean, just
Huh.
wild. The number of people hitting them on the road. I mean, there was like 7 in a row the other day in a 2-mile
Wow.
stretch. It was crazy. I don't normally see that. Um, so, but yeah, Delaware is wild. It's very, very flat. It's all farmland until you hit the coast, and then it's like a coastal village.
Yep.
So it's kind of wild. Um, but the weather's nice. I think the high tomorrow is 60. So
It's not bad.
nope. The trees are
Yep.
just starting to change here too. So you guys are probably in pretty full color
We're
swap.
almost done. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's starting here, which is nice. So I'll get to see that over the next week and a half.
Yeah. We've had a lot of rain lately, so it's all getting knocked down now, and the
The
ground's
wind,
slippery.
yeah, the
Yep.
wind and stuff. I was watching that on the news. I watch the Weather Channel a lot.
They don't have anything good to tell you.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. That's the business.
Yeah.
That's my business. So,
Yeah. I
um,
mean, I guess bad weather kind of keeps you employed to some degree, right?
well, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I could use a few more natural disasters. We're pretty slow.
Yep.
Not that
Oh,
I never wish that upon people, but um, yeah, I mean, we've got people that are basically sitting at home right now twiddling their thumbs because there's nothing for us to do, which is good. I mean, it saves the company money, it saves the customers money. It's just, makes for some long days.
yep. Well, the winter's coming, so I'm sure something will be popping soon.
Smokey, you're in Maryland. All right, cool. I'm not gonna make it back to Baltimore until I fly home. Um, uh, but I'll hit you up if I have to make another run back to the Lego store in Annapolis. I might do that once more before I leave.
Oh, did you see
I'm out
this?
in Yeah, he's Smokey says he's in Maryland. Um, yeah. Oh, Hoarder's in Annapolis.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
nice. Yeah, I was there Saturday. I drove to the Lego store on Saturday, picked up those. Uh, no, it was Friday because I had the show Thursday, and then I printed my ticket Thursday night and went, oh shit. So I drove and picked up the 2 AT-ATs. That was Friday. So, but yeah, I'm in Rehoboth Beach, is where they've got me staying. So it's about 2 hours from Annapolis, hour and 45 minutes from Annapolis.
Yeah. Next time you end up out this way, we have to show you our new Lego store. It's like the size of our living room. It's the smallest Lego store I've ever seen.
That's awesome, definitely.
It's tiny. It's
But I mean, that's kind of cool.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's neat. Yeah, I definitely hit the. There was a couple bricks and minifigs up there, and then I hit the Boston Brick Co. and I did all those while I was up there a couple times. But yeah,
In
definitely.
in December, we're getting our first bricks and minifigs, an
Huh?
actual bricks and minifigs. They're opening in Newton.
Okay, that'll be cool. That'll be nice to get.
Yeah. I reached out to them as soon as I found out about it, trying to schedule the owner for a show. We'll see if that
Mhm.
actually happens or not.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Anytime something exciting happens in this area, I try to reach out to somebody, and then I
Yeah.
usually get completely ignored because that's the nature of cold contacts, right? But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why it's nice to, branch out a little bit. It might not hurt you to do a little bit of whatnot because you don't have to do a lot. Um, and if they're willing to sponsor, I mean, that might be worth. It's definitely worth a pretty serious conversation.
yeah,
I would be very interested in what they had to say to you on that and what they want you to do and things like that. So that would be really cool. And I mean, I don't know what I could do, but if you need any help, I'd be happy to help. I enjoy my whatnot streams and my time and the relationships I've built here. So uh, I think that would be pretty interesting. So I like it.
yeah. Inventory is the biggest thing. That's my
Yeah,
biggest hesitation. I don't like starting something that I can't just pound away at forever.
yeah. But I mean, you say inventory, you don't have to run. You don't have to run these mega streams with thousands of sets of inventory to be successful. I typically try to run between 50 and 75 items in my shows. That's what I consider my sweet spot. And they don't all have to be high end. They don't all have to be great, crazy things. I mean, a lot of it is just basic figs, but then you mix in some poly bags, you mix in the occasional, set build. You can add all those things to it, and it's still a very successful stream. So you don't feel like you have to do huge streams because again, you said 2 hours. I mean, most of my stuff's around 2 hours, and I do 50-ish figs. 50, 75, somewhere around there, depending on how it goes. I always start with 50. Um, I always preload 50 lots. That's how I do my shows. I do a 50 lot preload, and then if I have any specific figs that I'm going to run, um, uh, I preload those in for pre-bids. And then I do however many giveaways I'm going to run. Usually I do 10 giveaways.
10.
Um,
Wow.
yeah. I preload 10. I don't always use all 10. And, a lot of times a giveaway is just a battle droid. So it's a
Yeah.
dollar battle droid. If that, I mean, sometimes I do the, again, the Star Wars cards, the hollow Star Wars cards. Um, so, but I like to preload that amount. And then the way I normally do it, I always have, I try to always have at least one decent giveaway at the end. That's once the show's over, we're going to give away something decent. I do a lot of the 327th battle packs. My show tomorrow, I'm giving away one of the gingerbread uh, Vaders.
Invaders. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, yeah, I mean, you can pace yourself. You don't have to run through the auctions. You don't have to rush through the auctions. They don't all have to be figs either. I have a bunch of mats, a bunch of these mats that I've been in the process of uh, putting into the putting into the show. But I got these from a couple of different sellers.
Oh, those
Um,
are cool.
yeah, there's a bunch of really cool ones of these. I've got some banners. I've got those Lego card tins. There's all kinds of stuff that you can mix and match in there. Um, so again, it doesn't have to be a home run show every show.
Right.
And if you look at some of the smaller sellers, The guys that aren't running these crazy streams, they'll build um, they'll build a show, and they duplicate that show every week. And they mix in higher end figs with some regular figs, and you mix in some of the special things to keep the crowd in, keep the draw, um, that kind of deal. And you just, I mean, it is a grind. It's a grind, but
All
I
right.
don't
Got some
think
questions
I've.
coming through on those mats here.
Uh-oh. Um, okay. So the mats are typically about 30 or $40. Um, and they're pretty good size. I've got about 10 of them. And then I have banners that my banners are only like 30 or $40, and they're 4x6 banners. So uh, book my show
Yeah.
on 11/6. Let me verify that date. Is that
Uh,
11/6? Thursday? Is that eleven
there
six?
there should be a link to your whatnot, I don't know,
Yes.
channel profile, whatever it's called, pinned in chat here too, if anyone wants to check
Yes.
that out.
So on 11/6, it's going to be the biggest show I've ever done. Um, but I'm going to put those mats in there. I'm going to put the different banners that I have in there. Everything will be in the buy it. I'm going to have everything that I'm selling in the buy it now ahead of time. So you don't have to pre-bid on it, but every item that's in there, there's a little bell icon that you can click. So if you see something you like, you click it, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you've got the Whatnot app and that item comes up, you'll get a message. Hey, items for the item that you pinned is coming up. And that'll give you a chance to hop in the show if you're not watching it. The other thing you can do, if you know you're going to be working that day, you can pre-bid on an item that's in the show. And sometimes you'll win. I won the Christmas X-Wing from Jandron. That's how I did that.
Wow.
We were flying from Orlando home to Houston from that Disney trip, and Jandern had his show where he was selling the. It was the build. It was everything. It was the complete build box, everything except the Yuletide pilot. Everything else
Right.
sealed, all sealed in the box. He opened the one bag to take the Yuletide pilot out. Everything else is sealed in the box. And he was auctioning that off. I'm sitting in the airport about to board the plane, and he's like, we're 20, 30 minutes away from this auction. And I'm like, I got a 2-hour flight. This thing is going to sell while I'm in the air. I can't bid on this. So I put a pre-bid in. Um, uh, and when we landed, I got by the time I didn't have signal on my phone until we got to baggage claim. And as soon as we got to baggage claim, my phone lit up with all the notifications and messages. Congrats, man, you got so I
Wow.
won a Christmas X-Wing in the air flying from Orlando um to Houston. And I wasn't even in the auction. I just pre-bid it. I knew what I was willing to pay for it. And I'll be honest, I got it for about half of what I was willing to pay. So
Awesome.
no
Okay. So
complaint from me.
so is that
So
like eBay where you can just set your max bid and it'll
yes,
just keep okay.
yep,
All right,
you can
that's
do
cool.
that.
I always like that system.
Yes, and it's neat that they'll allow you to do that. The other thing that is really cool about Whatnot is, say you are looking for a specific Lego set, Lego figure. Shoot, it doesn't even have to be a Lego figure. Whatever you're looking for, you can put in when you open the app up. I think at the top there's just a search icon, a little magnifying
Mhm.
glass. You can put in whatever you're looking for, click on that, and it'll bring up a list of stuff, and then you just hit product. And that'll take you to any and everybody selling that specific product. If they've got it in their buy it now, if they've got it scheduled for a show, coming up in the future, something along those lines. And it'll let you either click on it that, hey, I'm gonna notify me when this auction comes up. to where I can bid on it, or I can pre-bid on it right now. Some of those items you'll find somebody has in their buy it now, or in their bin as a buy it now, and you can literally just buy it right then.
It's
That'll
cool.
happen too. So that's another really cool thing about the Whatnot app, is it will allow you to do that. You don't have to know what seller's going to have what item at what time. It has that searchability to find that. So there are some people that have a fair amount of items in their buy it now available for sale at all times, which I think would be something that I would recommend for you. You can have them available at whatever price you've got set, and then, whenever you decide you're going to have a show, sometimes you can bring them into that show, and then if you're looking to offload them, maybe have a flash sale on them during the show to build up some extra interest and sell some of them. That's a good way to do it as well. So
Okay.
there's a lot of possibility. Um, I really like the Whatnot model because it gives you all the benefits of like an eBay auction, but you don't have to wait. It's not all right, I put my bid in, maybe something will happen, and then you wait 10 days and nothing happens for 9 days and 22 hours and 58 minutes, and the last 10 minutes 17 people bid.
Right.
I mean, it's you're face to face with the people that you're buying from. You can see the item that they have. You're not looking at random pictures. It's a live auction. If you have a question, a specific thing about whatever you're buying, um, they'll show you. They'll tell you. They'll communicate with you. You can vibe with the seller, or maybe it's somebody that you're like, man, I don't like this guy.
Yep.
I don't. I'm gonna do something else. But it's it's way more enjoyable of a process. Um, it's very fulfilling. So it's fun. I mean, it's wild. My wife, I signed her up as a buyer when I started doing shows, just so she could like log in and be a number, because when your show's up and it tells you how many people are in the room, if you only have one person in the room, people are going to pass by you. So, a couple of my neighbors and stuff, they logged in and they would log into the show to show that I would have a couple buyers, and occasionally they would bid on something just randomly. And then my wife, I was working on something, and she was in another show watching some items that I was waiting on. I think it was when I was building the Death Star, and then somebody was running an auction. I was like, pay attention to this whenever it comes up, bid on it if the price is XYZ. And she's like, can I buy anything else? I'm like, yeah, anything you see, knock yourself out. She's attached to my
Uh-oh.
account, so so
Uh-oh.
it's funny because she was watching an auction, and it was one of those deals where a bunch of people got really excited. He was doing some sudden death auctions, and I forget who it was, but it was one of those deals where they were adding figures. So they would start with a figure, and as the bid went up, they would add more. And
Oh,
it just kept
okay.
kept getting more and more, and people kept bidding. And she got into that and ended up buying like 6 figures. And they were 501sts that are worth like $3 a piece. She paid like $5 a piece for them.
Oh, man.
But she was so excited and so happy, and she was like, "Oh my god, that was so amazing!" And I'm like, she's like, "Did I do good?" And I'm like, "Baby, you did great. You had fun. You got some items. You did. I mean, that's what it's about. Yes, you're gonna spend too much every now and then on something, but there's other days that you're gonna get crazy deals. So I mean, it's like anything else. What are you gonna do with your disposable
Oh,
income? You gonna enjoy yourself, or are you gonna hoard it?
so here's an odd one. QVC sells on TikTok Shop now,
Okay.
which is interesting. Because TikTok runs weird promos and discounts and all that odd stuff. A 6-pack of the Spider-Man CMFs right now, with all of the promos and shit you can put together, including shipping, comes to $25 for a 6-pack.
brand new. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like $4 a fig. That's not a
Yeah.
bad deal.
Yeah. I mean, it's not out of this world, but
No.
including shipping, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not terrible.
Yeah.
And QVC on TikTok, I had to buy 4 boxes of them just because it was QVC through TikTok. The novelty got me.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So one of the things I'll tell you as a buyer, if you're a buyer for Whatnot, um, uh, you want to maximize your shipping. So like
Mhm.
my wife, she had her first purchase. She bought those 6 figs. She technically overpaid for them, but she also paid for shipping that first time. So I had her watch the show and continue to, pay attention. And there were 2 or 3 figs that came up that were 20%, 25% undervalue, and she bid on those, and the shipping was already included. So
Okay.
that's another thing I look at when I get a shipment in. I'll get an order in, and I pull up what I paid for it, total price, out the door, shipping, all of it, and then I break it down by fig. So, and that's how I do my break even. Sometimes I'll pay too much for 2 figs, but I'll get 2 figs for under, and I end up hitting the number I want to hit. So
Okay.
if you're smart about buying, don't just go into a show and buy an item and leave. Try to hang out for a little bit, try to get a little bit more for your shipping. Maximize that 450 that you spent for shipping, to just bring your overall cost down. I recommend that for anybody that's a buyer. Now that doesn't mean go buy 80 things, but be smart about what you're spending your money on. You maximize your purchase. So,
Oh, well, thinking about that, so you said Whatnot handles combining shipping, right?
mhm.
So you buy 1 fig, you're still under 4 ounces. You buy two, three, four, five, you're still under four. Once you get to, I don't know, whatever it is, 7 or 8 figs, you start pushing the limit there. Is there a
So,
point where they do up you to the next price band for shipping, the customer?
um, so the price will change, but it's not necessarily the next band. So what'll happen is every auction that starts, um, at the bottom, every auction that starts at the bottom of the screen, it's got the auction lot number or the name of the item or whatever, and immediately below that, for every auction, is your specific shipping cost. What it's going to cost you for shipping if you buy that fig. So if you've already bought 1 fig, the next three, four, five, whatever, those auctions pop up. It should say free shipping.
Okay.
It'll do that every time, and then once you've hit whatever that level is, that next fig that pops up, 9 times out of 10, it's going to say 26 cents, 32
Yeah.
cents, depending
Okay.
on where you live versus the seller. It prorates and it'll tell you. It doesn't necessarily charge you another $5, but it'll
Mhm.
tell you 30 cents. And then
Yeah.
after that one, I think you get another couple free ones. So that's one of the beauties of Whatnot. It constantly keeps a running tab of your bundle
Yeah.
for you specifically, based off of your zip code and where the seller is located.
Okay.
So
So
it's a
you'll get
really cool.
the the 30 or 40 cent increase until you get to 8 ounces or so, and then they'll add another buck until you get to 12 or whatever.
Maybe now
However the numbers land there.
a lot of sellers are starting to max out, especially in the Lego world. They're starting to max out their shipping.
Okay.
I've started to see it on the top of the screen of these auctions. It'll say max shipping $9.88 or whatever. So that's new. I haven't really gone down that rabbit hole. Um, but I think what they're doing is, and I'd have to look at USPS and see what their breakdown is, because I think for ground shipping, once you reach uh, a certain box size, you have up to like 90 pounds or 70 pounds, and your price doesn't go up. So, like a
Okay.
12 by 12 box is the maximum square inches that they'll do for that shipping, uh, rate, price, level, and then the weight is, again, I think it's 70 pounds. You're never going to hit 70 pounds with Legos. You're just not in that box size. So I think that's something that is starting to be pushed or offered by some of these sellers as another way to get people in their streams. So I mean that's a thing too. So again, but they're advertising it on the tops of their screens, and once you hit that $9, it doesn't matter what you buy, you're never going to go over that. So that's the thing. That's new, and everything changes with whatnot. Things update, things become normalized. I mean the giveaways. That's an example. Fritz has told me that nowadays it's expected that you'll have a giveaway of some sort running at all times. That's that's just expected. It doesn't have to be expensive. It
Crazy.
doesn't have to be some kind of crazy thing. But if you're not running giveaways, people just aren't going to hang out in your streams. So that's something that Fritz specifically told me has changed in the last year. It's just become the norm. So take that as you will. But it evolves and more people start selling and more people start buying, competition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What up, Sean?
I think
Yeah,
people set
so
a
the
bad
first Sideways
standard with
Life.
that.
So let's see if it does it again. So I was rolling. See, now it's going to be ornery. I was rolling sideways, and it worked. There we go. I like the Sideways Life, but we'll be having a nice little chat, and everything will be fine. Nobody's touched the phone. Nobody's done anything. And my phone decides that, hey, I'm going to be sideways now.
Yeah.
We tried this for the first 30 minutes. But yeah. So
Yeah, it's been a hell of a night for cameras. And then I don't know what happened, and my camera just went to
your,
shit. And
yours got all funky. Mine can't stay vertical or stay
yeah,
horizontal. It gets cranky and
yeah.
says, "Hey, I want to make you look sideways." So
Don't you look at me sideways?
that's right. Don't you look at me sideways. I'll come through this
Yeah,
phone. Don't
man.
make me come over there.
All right. So what have we missed here?
Trying to
Anything
think.
we didn't touch on?
Trying to think. The community is amazing. The people are great. It's a lot of fun. If you're gonna be a seller, um, inventory is your biggest uh, area of opportunity. Um, don't come at this looking to make $1 million immediately. Do it for the community, do it for the fun, do it for yourself, and the money will come later. Uh, be good to everybody else, they'll be good to you. Again, have fun. You'll learn a lot. Whatnot handles all of the shipping. You can put anything you want in your sales. Stay regular. Uh, I do whenever I put my shows in, it'll let you make 10 at a time. So when I reach the end of whatever my list is and I put my next show in, I'll immediately put the same time 10 weeks uh, uh, forward. Um, Try to set yourself aside apart. I do it on Thursdays. Um, the weekends are pretty busy. There's a lot of different people doing auctions at the same time. You're going to have a lot of competition. You're going to have a lot of overlap. Um, I like Thursdays. There wasn't a lot of people doing it. I kind of claimed it, um, and it's worked well for me. Um, let's see. Try to be different, but be genuine. You got to be genuine. If you're fake, people are going to tell. They can tell when you're just a car salesman. Be you, have fun, talk to the people in your stream. Um, ask them about their day. It's a community, and they will respond. It's a good time. So let's see. What else? What else? Hmm. You're gonna have a large section of your house devoted to shipping. You're gonna have boxes and shipping materials and label makers and printers and tape and
Yeah,
all that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
I
Um,
understand that life.
Shipping. I don't know if we talked about the importance of shipping quite that much. Um, we brushed against it. Um, don't don't go the cheapest route on your shipping. Um, uh, don't just when somebody buys a bunch of your items, don't throw everything into one bag to bounce around,
Oh,
and just have it all willy-nilly loose. Don't do that. Take care of the product. I Even if I sell 5 figures in a lot, say I do an auction of the 5 different troopers, um, those all go into a bag at the end of that auction. My bags are numbered. Every auction has a number, and at the end, it all gets put in line, and I put them where they need to go. As I'm boxing my items, each lot that comes up, if there's 5 figures in a bag, take them out of that bag. They each get their own separate little bag. Um, I take accessories off. I don't ship them with a gun in their hand. I don't ship them with the antenna attached. I pop all that loose and it's in the little bag. Um, Take care of the product that you're shipping to somebody, because ultimately all you're doing is helping yourself. It may take you an extra 2 or 3 seconds, but believe me, having an item show up at a customer's house broken is worse than the 2 seconds it would have taken you to pop that gun out of their hand. That way it didn't show up with a
yeah.
broken hand. Um, uh, on your shipments, I splurge. I will go above and beyond when it comes to packing. On some of the higher end items, I'll put multiple things in different bags and then put those bags in one bag. Um, some of the higher end figs, don't be scared to get the little clear plastic boxes. Some of these figs are $250. Don't
Yeah.
ship that in a bag. Don't ship that in a bubble mailer. Um, you're going to make your buyer very angry if you do that. And be aware that a lot of the people that are buying, some of them have YouTube pages, some of them have Instagram pages. Some people
They
do
can
what I
ruin you.
like to. Well, some people will, and it's one of the things I want to do. Now, I'm not going to dox people when I do it, when I start doing my videos, but I plan to, and here, free advice for a potential, whatnot video uh, blog. I plan to weekly take all of my shipments that come in and make a little video of me doing a breakdown, taking them out of the box. I'm not going to show who they came from, none of that. But I'm going to show the figs as they come out of the box, and I'm going to do a breakdown of I got these figs and I paid this amount of money. Did I win or did I lose? And then you do a quick breaking. See, look at the phone.
Haha, there it is.
Is Sean in here? See that? That's what we're dealing. Well, but it's still. Did it go side? I'm watching the main event, and it. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that. Yep. Yeah, there's a little delay.
Anyway, so that's an idea I've got where it's going to be like keep track of me, my wins and my losses, and that all that does is help show how real you are, and show the authenticity because every seller, all the bigger sellers that I've talked to, they all say the same thing. You got to be you. You got to be authentic. You got to be real. And if you're that with your people, they'll love you and they'll come back for more. Um, so that's. But shipping it's not just throw it in a bag and get rid of it. Um, I think we went over that you don't get paid till the item arrives at the customer. Now they don't have to rate it or anything like that, but it just has to show shipping has USPS has to show delivered. Once that happens, they release your funds. Now I think some of the bigger sellers, and I think I might eventually hit that point. They will allow for early funds. I'm not anywhere near that anytime soon. So, but you know, that's the standard process. Now, something that we didn't go over, Whatnot does keep a record of your purchase. So, say you buy something from me. Um, when it arrives, and I actually had this happen because I had a payment fail, and then my bag numbers got mixed up, and I ended up sending the wrong fig to a customer. But Whatnot tags every order with your live stream. So, say you buy 4 items from me. You can go into your fulfillment, your orders, and look at the order from me, and it'll break down the 4 items that you bought and the auction number. There's a button on each one of those items that says video receipt. You can click that, and it will immediately take you to my stream and the exact moment that that item sold. So you can see the item to refresh yourself. You can, I mean, I've used it once or twice to refresh myself to make sure I had the right item at the right time. I did that last week here because I mixed up I was doing the clone cadets, and I had them listed separately from my 1 through 50 auction. But like my 5th auction, I screwed up and I put the clone cadet in bag number 6. So for 4 auctions, my bags were off by 1, and I caught it on the 4th auction that I had bag 7 or bag 9 in my hand, and the auctions showed bag 10 or bag 8, one way or the other.
Whichever.
So I caught it. And at that point, I pulled those 5 and I set them to the side, knowing that I needed to verify what they went to. That's a really cool feature. And it also does all the tracking. You can track your item. It'll tell you where it's been, when it's going to arrive. So Whatnot does really good with that. And that's a fun feature to verify your item. Beyond that, what else could we talk about? We talked about shipping. If you're going to be a seller, you really need to take care of the customer. A couple extra cents on your end isn't going to hurt you, but it's going to make a big difference for the customer. And again, from experience, I have customers that have spoken very highly of me in other streams about how well I ship my stuff, and how I put a quality product out. And pay attention to what you're selling. Make sure you're not selling junk. So
here's a question for you. So you talked about using the little boxes now instead of bags.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only putting 1 or 2 minifigures in there, there's a lot of room for them to slide around. Mm-hmm. What do you use for void fill if you're on the road? Do you just go to Walmart and get a roll of bubble wrap, basically stuff it, and then if you get some left over, you just shake hand it before you get on a plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Cost of doing business. That's the way I look at it. I'd rather put a little bit of extra in there.
Well, you can get 6-inch rolls at Walmart now, right?
Yeah.
The narrow ones. Okay.
Yeah. You can get them from the post office. I mean, I did that. I had to do that one time. I had an item that wouldn't fit in any of the boxes that I had. So I took it to the post office with my label. And when I got to the post office, I was like, all right, what box does the post office have that I can fit this damn thing in? And I ended up getting a box that was, bigger than my item. So they had the little 6-inch roll of bubble wrap. It was red, of all things. So I bought the box. I bought the bubble wrap. I put it and put it all together in the lobby of the post office. I stuck my sticker on there, and I went and gave it to the lady and said, please send this out.
Awesome.
So I mean, that kind of stuff happens.
I'm not sure if you knew, but a lot of Staples are access points now, and they will handle the USPS, UPS, FedEx. I think they do DHL and one other. So you can go there, get your packing material, and make sure you get a receipt. It's the next step there.
I am
They can handle that for you.
leery. I'm leery of that. Do you have experience with them in the post office stuff? Because we have a
Yes.
UPS store that's by our house that does that. And my wife, not related to anything I do, but she has to ship stuff out sometimes too with her work. And there's been a couple of occasions that she's dropped stuff off there, gotten a receipt, and then it's gotten all jacked up. It's
Yeah.
disappeared. It went to the wrong places. So I don't. I'm real leery about
So
not being
we've
a
never
post office.
we've never had a problem with USPS through Staples.
Okay.
We just recently had a problem with UPS through Staples, though.
Okay.
We dropped off four packages to Staples, 2 for the post office, 2 for UPS. They scanned them all. We got the receipt, whatever. Whatever it was, 10 days later, maybe, I got an email from the Bricklink customer saying, hey, what's going on with tracking? UPS shows that you printed the label, and that's the end of tracking on it. And then we looked, the 2 for the post office, no problem. They got delivered. The other one from UPS also has no updated tracking whatsoever. And UPS won't do anything for you to file a claim because it doesn't show as even scanned in.
Ish.
So the only thing you can do is go through, we use Pirate Ship. So you can go through Pirate Ship and place a claim through them, but you really have no leg to stand on if it doesn't even show in the system that you dropped it off. And of course, it's 10 days later. We don't have the receipt for the drop off anymore, Staples. So it would probably be okay if we still had the receipt.
Yeah.
But we drop off packages constantly. We have 2 kids, you know.
No, I mean,
So yeah.
yeah. So, and that's again, that would be a concern for me. So
Yeah, it is one additional middleman. And
yeah.
up until that, man, I'm willing to bet we've put a minimum of 500 packages through Staples to the various shipping places. And this is the first time we've ever had an issue, and it had to be 2 in the same drop off. And only UPS, so I don't know.
And it just happened to be 2 you didn't keep the stupid receipt for.
Yeah.
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 No.
And so I refunded both buyers because you have to, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's not your problem filing claims or dealing with any of that. Here's full refunds. If the package shows up, good for you. You get some free stuff out of the deal.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The review is worth way more than the $25 or whatever it is.
That is also a thing. So, and again, that's something else. If you're a whatnot seller, I can't stress enough. I mention it as often as I can, at least once or twice in a show. It's usually written in any of my page items. If you ever have a problem with an item, let me know. I will make it right. Make it right. It's a $10 fig, a $20 fig. It's worth it for the customer that's gonna tell anybody else that, hey, I had a problem one time and he fixed it. Versus the customer that's like, I got the wrong thing and I was just told SOL. That one that I was talking about where the payment failed and my numbers got backwards. A guy bought one of the clone, or not the clone. He bought one of the commando, the maroon commando guy with the white
Yep.
mask, and I accidentally shipped him a P1 pilot, the yellow-headed guy. So he sent me a message. Hey, I got the wrong fig. He bought my Bakara, and he wanted the commando to go with it. And I was like, I'm sorry. I looked at the video, and that was a mix up with the payment failed, so I got my bag mixed up the next one. And I told him I have more commandos. I will send you one out. I apologized. He's like, "Do you want me to ship you back this P1 pilot because it was the wrong one?" I was like, "Keep it.
Yep.
That's my oops. I apologize. Keep it." Now I will say that was the first time I'd had that problem, and it took me about 4 days to figure out how to get a label to ship him the commando. But Whatnot, I reached out to Whatnot support. You have to send them a message, but they're really great. Told them what happened, and they immediately emailed me a new label, and package it up and sent it. But yes, if you're gonna sell on Whatnot, you have to be prepared that things are gonna happen, and it will behoove you. It will pay for itself tenfold to take care of any kind of issue a customer has. Anything, make it right. Always try to make it right. Um, every big seller that I've talked to has said the same thing. Uh, it's worth it. So, and most people have it listed in there. That when you run an auction, there's a note at the top, like a little post-it note with show notes and anything like that. And then the top of my profile page, same thing. If you ever have a problem, hit me up. I will make it right. So,
Yep.
um,
Yeah. It's we get a lot further in life trying to be good humans, right?
yeah, stupid phone.
It's like, no.
So,
Well,
uh,
I have certainly learned a ton about Whatnot tonight. I
yeah,
still don't know that I feel like I'm in a good spot for it, but I feel like I'm going to end up doing a lot more shopping there as
yeah,
I get more comfortable preparing to sell.
it's it's
It's
very
time
fulfilling.
consuming.
I mean, it's enjoyable. If you are so as a buyer, this is how I work as a buyer. Um, when I'm watching shows, um, uh, I have either my what fig or my brick scan um, open while I have a show running. And as figs come through, something comes up, something catches my eye I like the look of. If it's a figure I'm not familiar with, if it's a high end fig, if they're advertising something, they're going to have a big deal. I will routinely take a screenshot of the auction, and then you can open up, what fig or whatever, and review that, and it'll scan that figure, and it'll tell you what figure it is, what it's worth, because some of these figures can get real close. And the high end version is just a little bit different than the non high end version, and you got to
Mhm.
make sure you're right. So I will do that. I have that running pretty often. And I once I know what the fig is and what the price is, I'm disciplined enough to, for the most part, 9 times out of 10, I'll 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 have a price that I'm willing to pay, and I'll stick to that. I'll watch the auction, and depending on how they have the auction set up, a lot of times it'll just be a 30-second countdown. That's something we didn't talk about, the types of auctions. So most people, a standard auction is a 30-second countdown. Once you get below 10 seconds, 9 seconds and under, every bid will reset to like 7 or 8 more seconds. So
Okay.
as people are bidding, it'll stay at that That's a standard auction. They also have what they call the sudden death auctions, which you can set the time. It counts down from whatever you set it at. There is no reset. So if you set a 15-second auction, when it counts down from 15, what it ends at is what it ends at. The benefits of those two different types of auctions, most people run the standard auction with the renewable for a figure that's worth a little bit more money. You want to try and make sure you get what it's worth. You make sure everybody has the time to bid on the item to get you the maximum amount. Now, the flip side is that sudden death. What it does is it generates excitement, electricity. I gotta bid. I gotta get my bid in. I got a short amount of time. I gotta be quick. I gotta be quick. And the way the app works, um, every time you swipe the little thingy, it automatically bids the next amount. So when you get down to 2 or 3 seconds, if you've got 5 people that swipe at the same time, it'll jump 10, $15 in a second. And whoever
Wow,
swiped last wins. But
crazy.
a lot of times when you swipe the net, so if it's $8 and you swipe, it'll go to 10. But if you swipe at the same time 7 other people swipe and you're the last one, by the time you're done swiping, instead of being 10, you're going to be at 20. So
Oh,
you got to be aware of that. But a lot of people don't care about that. One of the things I do when they start doing uh, the sudden death, you can go in and put a max bid in. So
okay.
at the little there's the swipe button, which is the next amount, and then right to the left of that, I think it says other. You can click that other and then move the amount to whatever the max you're willing to pay is. And then you can hit submit, and it'll as other people bid your max, it'll keep you winning up until you hit your max.
Okay.
So that's the bet if you're that's what I recommend if you're in a sudden death auction. Because a lot of times if you swipe, you may end up spending more than the $2 more than you were looking at. And that happens on a lot of the high end auctions. People will tell you, don't get swipe happy on some of these expensive figs because you're going to end up spending 20, $30 real quick that you maybe weren't prepared to spend.
Mm,
So,
yeah. And if you're
um,
buying with the intent to resell them, that last swipe could make or break the whole deal for you. Right.
yeah, but you know, it's well, what do we say? What do we say in ACOM all the time? It's for the culture. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Yeah.
it's gonna happen. You're gonna spend more than you meant to. Um, you know, sometimes, sometimes as a seller, um, if there's a particular fig that's a rarer fig and has a lot of buzz and there's a bunch of people in there and you're mixing it up in the buy in the bid and the auction's going back and forth back and forth back and forth, you can get some name recognition out of being the winner. People that grabs attention, and that's kind of the name of the game. So some people look at it that way. It just depends. But yeah, so you can set the auctions pretty much in increments of it goes like 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, a minute 30, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is the max that you can
That's so
do.
long.
Well, but on some of these, really crazy Mr. Golds,
Hmm.
um, they're going to run a 5 minute auction. The other thing that you recommend doing, um, if you're going to run a high end auction, before you start the auction, you can pin it. Basically, what that does is it puts the auction on the screen, puts the item on the screen. This is the next item to run, but it doesn't start the countdown. But what it
Okay.
does do is everybody that selected that little bell gets that notification. This item is up for bid.
Oh,
So it gives you an extra 5, 10 seconds for the people that aren't in your stream or may not even be on Whatnot at the time that wanted that crazy expensive whatever to click in. Excuse me. So it's a tool for the seller.
Okay.
And your job as a seller is to maximize that experience. Now, what'll happen is if you start doing that with every auction, you're going to lose buyers. People don't want to sit there and look at nothing. They're like, start the auction, start the auction. Which again is why you would only do that type of thing for special high-end kind of figs. Most of the time, you're just going to run 15, 20, 30-second auctions. So, but that's a way to generate excitement. And a lot of the bigger sellers, they mix that up, that sudden death with regular auctions and the different figs. You know, they'll run a couple of high ends and then they'll run some basic stuff and then kind of. I like to set a queue. You know, we'll go through and I'll show a overview. People will call out what they want. They'll call out 5, 10 figs. Normally I do about 10, and that'll be my queue. I'm going to run these 10 figs. Because you have people pop in all the time and they're always going, can I get an overview? Can I get an overview? Like, you've got your camera set, you've got your auction running, and you're like, all right, I got 10 figs in the queue. Once we're done with these 10, we'll do another overview. So that kind of a deal. That's again another way to generate interest, generate buzz, get people excited about the next figs coming, you know, that kind of thing. So, I think that might be most of it. I have an LLC. I have tax exempt. You can set that up with Whatnot. I put my tax stuff in there, so I don't pay tax when I buy the item. You can do that if you sign up for it. Otherwise, you can just be a regular buyer seller.
That's a good call. I need to do
Yeah.
that.
So I didn't do it for the first 6 months of me buying this year. I wish I did, but I mean, ultimately, I don't think it's going to hurt me because it's just tax that I've paid, prepaid. So I have all those receipts saying, look, this is what I bought. I paid tax. So ultimately, any tax I owe at the end of the year, I've kind of already prepaid. So that was the way it was explained to me. But again, I haven't had my come to Jesus with Mr. CPA yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But let's see. With a business, I have a PO box. So anything I buy comes to my residence, but anything I sell, any kind of return, anything like that, the customer gets a label with the PO box, not my actual house set address.
That's a smart one.
That's something my wife was like, "Hey, we need to do this." I was like, "Okay, that makes sense." So something I haven't done yet as much as I need to, is leverage my other streams with my Whatnot. You can add links to like your other stuff. I haven't done that yet. I need to. But as you get bigger, you know, expand, try to maximize your footprint. One thing we didn't talk about even remotely. If you go to, and I can actually show you, that's probably the easiest thing to do. Oops. Your upcoming shows. So let's do this. Maybe. Is it going to load? It's not loading. No. Okay. Go here. Here we go. Shows. All right. Let me switch. It's not going to show. That's not cool. Why is it showing that? Oh, I guess on the computer it doesn't. That's lame.
You looking for your future shows?
Ah, here we go. Yes. Or you may be able to pull it up on your end.
Well, let's take a look.
Maybe easier that way. So if you go to my profile,
Let's see. Oh shit! I just had that up a second ago.
this is actually something that will help new buyers. Little extra goodies that I learned.
What in the world? Do. All right. So I am going to your page.
Yeah, if you click my profile, I think in like the upper left corner it'll say shows.
Let's
You
see.
can click on that. There you go.
All
So
right.
what you see here, remember I said I do them 10 at a time?
Yep.
When I put my initial 10 in, they all just base off of that SigsBrix logo. You want to have
Okay.
something in there, a placeholder, so that if you forget or whatever, it's not just blank. So I do that. But one of the big things is every show you want to try and update what you're going to do in that show.
And then you can click
Make
these little bookmarks.
Yep, I appreciate that. But so as you can see, these three are pretty similar because they're all kind of going together. There's the 10, there's the 20, and then there's the 50. But usually my stuff is more broken up. And I'll have a card show, which is some specific stuff. I'll do like a rip and ship, and it's a different graphic, but you need to have something to set yourself apart. So you're here. If you go back to just like the home page to whatnot, that'll you can see all of these different. This is the homepage for every show that's running right now, and you can
Okay.
look and see some of these are put together pretty nicely. Some of them are just a picture of a plate with figs
Check.
on. So
All right. Yeah, these things are not alike.
there's a difference. I highly recommend. I use, and I'm new, but I use Chat GPT. I use Canva. And then I use, what's the other one? There's a Chatbox AI, an Art AI, Pixverse. There's several different, options and stuff out there to where you can basically speak into the phone an idea for a design. So like if you go back to my page with the little logo that says 1K follower celebration.
How do we get there?
Sorry. You were there a second ago and I made you leave and now I'm taking you back.
That's all right. Which one?
Just any of them. They all have the logo at the top is the same. It's the 1K follower celebration on that steel plate with those specific colors or whatever.
Yep.
That logo, I talked into I think it was I can't remember if it was Chat GPT or Canva, but I basically told it make me a logo that says 1K follower celebration with bright powerful colors on a steel plate uh, or it's like a powerful. You use lots of descriptors
Yep.
to be as descriptive as you can, and it generated that in 15 seconds.
It's
um,
beautiful.
and then you can fine tune it. So change the colors to where if you want a different you know whatever, uh, but you can fine tune them, and it's super quick, and it would take you forever to try and make that. But leverage those tools. I'm still learning about the AI stuff, um, and there's a ton of different things that are out there. But then I use Canva to make the whole page. So like that full picture, that full page is an advertisement. You take a
Yep.
template that they've got and that you like the basic layout looks, and you can fine tune it. I change the colors so that they match my scheme. I've got certain, you know, pictures and stuff that I'm always adding, the Star Wars, the Lego. You add those in, my little logo's always in there. But you want to set yourself aside from every other just goober that's out there. I mean, people as they're scrolling through to see what's upcoming shows wise, because you can look in the morning and see what shows are running that day. But if you're clear about what you've got going on, you know, like for me, I've got that free gingerbread Vader. That's going to grab a lot of attention because it's a super hot fig right now. And if I'm giving one away, people are like, well, shit, I have a chance to win that. Um, I want to get that. Um, or, the dollar starts. Dollar starts is something that grabs attention. Anything that you can do to set yourself apart, you want to do. You don't want to just
Yep.
have a picture of some figs on a plate because people look at that and scroll right past you.
Yep.
It makes a difference. It makes you look more professional. But you've also, and that's a challenge I've had, is learning how to do this stuff. I'm not graphic at all.
Oh, this
um,
this is fancy though. This one actually moves. This thumbnail
uh,
is a video.
but that's another thing. I can add a video in, and you can, if you click the page, it'll show you the video too. You've got your cover sheet, but then I think actually, if you have a video and you hover it, it may start the video too. I forget. But yes, you can do that as well. And I've done that. If you've
That's
got a
fancy.
nice layout, if you've got, so that's another thing I do when I'm at home, I've got a really nice display layout. I've got the Star Wars logo. I've got my big 3D printed figures as a backdrop. I've got I actually have that the mock I made for Brick World that's got all your sig figures and stuff on them. That's front and
Mm.
center. Um, and then I position all my figs on plates around that so that people can get a nice overview. It looks professional. It looks nice. It's organized. You can see everything. That makes a difference. People can take a look at your picture and know what you're selling. But then if you look on the bottom, you can title the show. Mine are all just basically titled Thursday Night Delight, but then I'll also start adding in as I flesh out my shows. If I'm doing a card show, it'll say Star Wars cards. I did a guaranteed split gold show, and I had a big logo that was bright and guaranteed split gold. Um,
What is a
but
split gold?
so you remember the Lego cards? You rip like the Pokemon cards, but they're the
Yeah.
Star Wars Lego. So Series 5 of that Lego set, they had 5 special cards. Um, that there's only 5 of them, and every box of 40, you have to buy a full box. In that box, there's one. So if
Oh
you're buying
God.
them loose, you don't know what chance you've got. But if you have a brand new box, somebody is guaranteed a split gold card. And the people that collect the cards, it's a big deal. They want those. So, one of
Right.
my shows was a guaranteed split gold show. So we've got however many packs in the box, and somebody is going to get the split gold. And I did it as a rip and ship. If you bought them, we ripped them open to see what you had, and then they got shipped to you. Once the split gold popped out, and the guy won the 5 or 6 whatever packs of cards that were left, we didn't have to open those. But it's
Okay.
you set the show up to where the hype is around that card. You don't want to just sell them and be like, oh, somebody got them. It's not entertaining.
Yeah.
So, but again, you just try to find yourself a niche. Try to find yourself something that you can do that's a little bit different than everybody else. I like the cards. I've brought some people over to the cards. I have 2 or 3 people that never bought any of the Star Wars Lego cards, and now they're in every one of my shows that want them. So I call it Lego crack. Once you start doing it, it's crazy.
Dangerous.
It's very, very dangerous. So, but that's kind of where we're at. Now I will say I did just have to completely redo all of my shows, which is why they all just have SigsBrix on them right now. There was some kind of glitch and whatnot in the last 3 days, and only half of my shows were showing up. So I had to delete them all and then re-put the set in. So I have to go back and update each one of those pages with
That's annoying.
it.
Oh, you know what? So I just figured it out. We're roughly the same age, so you'll understand this reference. The background in your logo looks like the special screen that they would pull down for school pictures. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
You're right. Amazing. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. That logo I made with ChatGPT. So I went through 6 or 7 different iterations before I found one that I liked. But Fritz told me about Canva, ChatGPT, and the other ones. He said, use these. They make it really, really easy to do graphics and stuff that will set you apart. So
there is what the hell are they called? Custom GPT for Canva inside of ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you can actually use that, and ChatGPT will help you build the prompts to use.
Okay.
Within there, it actually works out really well. I discovered that recently.
Well, but Canva was supposed to be able to interface with Instagram too. And
I don't know how that one works.
I'm cranky because that video that I made, that countdown video, the one I made in Canva is different than what is published. And I'm cranky about it because the one in Canva is better. But I couldn't get it to transfer over the extra little flashes and stuff that I added. For some reason, it wouldn't translate. I tried it 7 different ways, and then I was like, all right, well, we're just gonna have to run with what we got. So, I mean, the video that's out, that video I made wasn't bad, but the Canva one it had extra pop, and I really liked it better. So, but it is what it is. I'm learning again. It's I mean, again, you're the same age as me, so this kind of stuff, there's a pretty big upswing in the knowledge base.
For sure. So, yeah, I haven't figured out how to do video well at all, but it's harder in Canva for me than it is in CapCut. I think CapCut's easier.
I think I have CapCut, but again, I haven't really started doing the video stuff. I have some ideas of stuff I want to do. I just need to start doing it, and then I mean, you're gonna learn. You're gonna do it the hard way and figure it out. Which is kind of where I'm at with Canva. I've done enough of them now to where the logo pages, I've got those down pretty good. The Instagram shorts, that's new. That's still being worked on.
Yeah.
And then I haven't even dove into YouTube yet, but It's on the list. So, but it's, you know, do what you can, and you learn and get better.
Yep.
And have fun.
That's the important part.
If you're not having fun, it's a lot of work for nothing if you're not having fun.
Yep. Nothing else is worth having at that point.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
But as much as fun as I've had tonight, it is 20 minutes of one. So,
holy crap.
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
kind of came out of nowhere.
I just looked. We're almost to 4 hours. Holy shnikes.
Yep. Yeah, it's a little crazy. And unfortunately, the downside of doing this on Wednesdays is that tomorrow is always a work day.
Yep. I got to work tomorrow, and I got a show tomorrow. So.
Yep. Yeah, you were going to have a busy day.
Yeah, be all right. It's all part of the adventure.
Yes, sir. All right. So we need to talk about some cross-promotion stuff in the future, because I think that could be fun.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a very big lane of expansion there, growth. I think we can do some things that aren't being done, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
aren't being done yet.
Yep. Awesome. Well, let's stay in touch over that and make something happen there. That'll be cool.
Most definitely. Always nice to talk to you.
It has been fun.
Yes.
Everyone remaining in chat, thank you guys for hanging out all this time. It's closing in on 4 hours is amazing. We love you guys.
I was actually a little worried. I was like, I'm gonna run through everything too fast and not have anything to talk about.
Nope.
So awesome.
All right. So next week, SigsBrix is on with us. We're gonna talk Mox. We're gonna talk about him getting the Brickmaster Award over at Brick World last year. All of the fun things that he does.
Cool.
And then we will suddenly be in November, and I've been so busy. I have nothing booked for November. So it's going to be an interesting month. We'll have some surprises coming up, I think.
Yeah, the Goonie ship comes out on the 1st.
Oh, yeah. That GWP is going to cause a rush. It's really good.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. Don't make me stress over that. One financial catastrophe after another. But all right, everybody, it has been awesome. Smash like on the way out. I would appreciate it if you haven't already. I'm going to assume everybody has, but we get occupied. But thank you again. I will see you guys all next week or tomorrow night, because there's a Whatnot show to attend.
That's right. Come hang out.
Yep.
Come get some free Lego. I'm always giving away free Lego. You don't have to buy anything. Just come get it.
And we are linked as the pinned comment and in the show description. So don't miss out on that. And good night, everyone.
See ya.